He knows what the pig likes.
So this is like a kind of a Zoobox staple. This video has been watched 2 times on this channel already. But it's one of those things like I really enjoy like making people watch or showing to them, because it's like it's a very rare instance where you get completely unfettered, honest, genuine access to the minds of people that are into bestiality, and they are shameless about it. There's no shame involved in it. They're just like here to tell their story. It's one of the craziest documentaries. I stumbled upon it like, I don't know, it was like 10 years ago. And yeah. Prophet says, no, Animal Passions Part 3. Part 3, buddy.
Hey.
We got fresh eyes.
Yeah, man. I've never seen it.
Oh, Prophet's seen it twice at least.
Well, hey. Well, Prophet, you guys have taken me down the rabbit hole of the internet so many times, man. I'm just don't know anything about it, man. I'm pumped to get into it.
Yeah, I told Paul the other day. I sent him a message and said, "You better stop watching my channel. You're going to become an internet degenerate." Featuring CMP. Oh yeah, featuring CMP, baby. He's gonna see what this is all about. It is one of the funniest and most disturbing documentaries I've ever seen. Like the amount of quotable shit in this, Paul, is off the fucking charts. Like you could stop every 30 seconds and somebody said an all-timer quote.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's crazy.
I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. I'm a little nervous. I'm glad we had that primer. Got a couple nightcaps in.
Yeah.
Do a little neck crack.
All right, let's do it. The main event.
When was this made? I'm sorry.
Early 2000s. I think 2004.
2004.
Yeah.
Like straight, like locally produced, like some.
It's a BBC documentary.
It's BBC.
So it's people in the United States, but it was produced by the BBC.
Okay.
As far as I remember.
Only speaks to people who've broken one of society's ultimate taboos, the illegal practice of sexual contact with animals, a subject some people may find disturbing.
Me some bocce ball.
Oh yeah, Trami, you were going to want to go grab a drink for this one, buddy. You're going to want to get a drink. Sexual intercourse with animals is a criminal offense in most of the Western world. This film examines a subject which many find deeply disturbing.
Unless if you're a vegan lady.
Yeah. She's all about it.
Oh my gosh! Fire!
Don't shake it, you'll spew it everywhere. There was never a day in my life when I was growing up and I said, okay, I think I'm going to go have sex with animals today. It started out when I was very small. I just had a deep connection with animals, all the pets that we had growing up and all.
Oh, the Prophet says a BBC documentary like Dog Fart.
You beat me to it. I was saying, like, I waited too long and God.
Oh, no, you got to go. Sometimes, especially when you're drinking, like your mind will take an extra cycle to like hit it. It happens to me all the time, and I can't. Like, I have to be like, "Oh shit, let me rewind for a second so I can say this joke."
Yeah, I can't get over this hairdo though. I already know we're going to get gold out of this guy. We're like off the bat, this guy is going to give us gold. Like you look at this, like Bonnie Tyler, like.
It's like
here, like it's good.
Yeah, it's like early 90s,
I need a hero, Shaun, and I think this is it. I think this is it for the night.
I like the Bonnie Tyler. That's a good call. That's a good call. I always said he looked like Kato Kalin. The guy is like one of the VJs, early MTV VJs, I think.
I see.
I just felt deep feelings for them, and as I grew older and these feelings matured, it eventually moved on to sex. There was no decision made.
All right, so if we think about that freeze frame from the vegan video with the green states where it was legal, which one of those states is Bonnie Tyler from?
I feel
if I were to guess,
this has got to be like Wyoming. Wyoming was one of those states. It looks like Wyoming. Especially once you get to see the farmland and stuff they have. Jeremobi says, "Hey, what's up, Jeremy? He looks like Dan Aykroyd crossed with a Ramon." And Trami says, "Is this like the cuckoldry? Like bestiality didn't just happen. You had to really rationalize it to yourself." Exactly. You got to talk yourself into it.
Evidently.
You got to build up to these kind of degenerate things that are completely unnatural.
Well, like as what Bonnie Tyler said, like it just started off as emotions, and those emotions matured. These feelings turned into emotions, and they matured, and then I'm sure it's going to be something beautiful. So
I see animals as spiritual beings first, and because I see them as my spiritual equals, I don't have any issue with seeing that they have the same needs that I have, which is to eat, to enjoy their bodies. And to love and to be loved.
I've been
second's a little sus.
No, I love it. I love it. Enjoy their bodies.
So that's the segue, right? That's that light talk. Some might say like dog whistle, like enjoy their body. Like, well, yeah, who doesn't want to enjoy their body? But what did you mean? Well, where are we going with that?
Oh, we're gonna find out.
I enjoy my body.
And with humans, I love to be with both.
Hey, who are we to judge?
This music though. Just
5 years ago, I made a film about people who choose to have sex with animals. After it was shown, a number of zoophiles, as they like to be known, wanted to tell their stories.
Zoophiles.
Can't go by a group of horses without taking a real close look at them and wondering a great many thoughts.
Yeah. There's a black one there with a big blaze and a couple white socks that just, she's nice.
BBC, and I'm not talking about the network.
Hello. Hello, pretty boy. Easy. Cool. Please do come.
Look how fucking excited they are. Dude, these guys are like pigs in shit.
They are. Lead any closer, that barbed wire is going to slit them open.
Yeah. That's why it's there, to keep them at bay.
Calm down, boys. Calm down, boys.
Prophet comes in with a correction. Kato Kalin was not a fucking MTV VJ. He rose to fame as a witness in the OJ trial, I think because he was renting a room from the Juice at the time of the murder. He was, but he also worked for MTV. Look it up, cocksucker.
False prophets, man. There we go.
Visit.
Hey,
baby.
Baby.
Hello, pretty one.
Hello.
Pretty.
Wow. Now this is a rush.
See, did I tell you? Every 10, 30 seconds, you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is a rush. This is a fucking rush, boys. This is a special moment we're having between each other.
And this is like 2 minutes into this.
Yes. Dude, this is the whole thing. It never stops.
A piece of ecstasy. This is the most incredible turn on when I'll approach like this. This is the most incredible turn on. Ooh. This is a pretty girl here. She's an Arabian.
This is the first.
She's an Arabian, dude.
Imagine like if you just went to a Jabba's Club, start talking like that, like, ooh, this is Arabian. Look at this Nubian over here. Oh my. Ooh,
they're like dudes at spring break looking at the beach. Like they're like, oh my God, look at that one. Where do you think she's from?
Look at that dog. Oh my God.
Shit. How's the volume? God. How's the volume? Is it a little low?
No, it's good.
It's good.
Any lower, it'd be turning me on.
No, I mean, do you want it to turned up?
No, I want to be turned on. That's why I'm with you on this journey.
They've spoken openly about their secret desires.
If they found a field full of horses, it may be a while.
Oh, I know Ken. He searches the ponies for hours on end.
Just the acceptance.
They wanted to show. They
found horses.
Yeah.
Well,
this is
boys.
This lady right here is the wife of the Paul Bunyan dude.
Oh, okay.
This lady is Bonnie Tyler's girlfriend. Tarami says Arabian maidens, inshallah, brother.
Inshallah.
Jeremy says the black stallion. What a looker.
Tell me about it.
Prof says, God damn it, stop the fucking video. I can't take this big black fucking horse Coco again.
Prophet, yes you can. And yes, you will.
You can take it all. Dude.
A strange and often shocking sexual subculture. I was surprised to find these passions were not limited to lone individuals.
I wish I was as sexy as Amara is sometimes.
They included women, couples, and even animal relationships within families.
That good? You can get it kind of juicy. It'll soak it up if we put it back in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the questions are, well, is it the same as with a man? Is it as good as with a man?
No, better.
Well, it depends.
You know,
you
we
got
talking about that
competition.
sweet Arabian earlier. Yeah, I mean, how can you compete with that?
Yeah, I mean, we got competition here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, this is why we got to stop these vegan people. We got to be pro-anthropomorphic, like pro-anthropomorph-centrism.
Yeah, man.
Because if we don't, then all our women are going to be fucking animals. Because apparently it's good.
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
The dog depends on the man.
But on that same token, so will we.
men.
So I guess everyone wins.
We be living in a sweet, neutral paradise where everybody can just stick it.
Yeah.
Go down to the pet shop, be like,
All right, and see what it goes on. See, we greenlight some states and see how it plays out. You know, do some case studies and
get
some academics there. You know, documenting the whole
Michael
thing.
Malice can be like the president of the state or whatever, and he can have his little anarchist craziness. And you know.
yeah. He might even set up some ground rules just to be broken.
Just they don't like foreplay. Dogs love foreplay. They love to have a good time. They love to have sex.
I just thought, should I add some mushrooms to the salad too?
So I love that transition between
sauce,
horses don't need a foreplay, but dogs do, and then cut right to all right. So mushrooms, is that too many?
Because it's like a casual normal. I cannot believe how comfortable and how casual they talk about it. Like, right? Because
you know what's in the room with them right now. There's someone holding lighting. There's somebody with a boom mic. There's probably two camera guys. You know, and they're just.
Yeah, well, there's definitely. I think there's at least two camera dudes, and there's probably the sound guy who's usually doubles as like the director, the producer, right? Like, but they're so like because they know that it's taboo. They know it's not something that like is socially acceptable, and they're completely disarmed. These people must have been like very charming.
And this was the late '90s, I guess, when he started this project, right?
Yeah, well, early 2000s, yeah.
Well, it came out in the early 2000s, right? But he said he was recording for 5 years in the beginning.
Well, no, he did a documentary 5 years before this one.
Oh, okay, I stand corrected.
About not about these people in particular, and then people reached out to him.
Right.
Because there's always cycles of this stuff. You find the same thing with like pedophiles and stuff, where they try to integrate themselves into society and normalize things. And we're right now in the middle of a cycle with pedophiles, especially that they're trying to like get back into this concept of it being like a sexual orientation and that they need to be part of like the LGBTQIA group.
Because it's all about groups. It's all about communities. It's just the branding. It's all about the brand, right?
It's all about branding, yeah.
It's all about the brand.
I'm gonna do.
For most people, the idea of sex with animals is revolting. So I wanted to find out why people become zoophiles, and why this form of sexuality, above all others, remains taboo. I started with the question, what exactly is zoophilia?
Zoophilia is one of the 40-odd paraphilias.
See, it's one of these guys, these ancient guys. Yeah, he likes to talk about, oh, well, in the past, we used to do this as well. I don't know if you're familiar with Leda and the Swan.
We give this very, very obscure freaking god from 3,000 years ago at this profound thing. It's very nuanced in today's culture. Why? I fucked your cat.
Yeah. I'm Egyptian. I'm Egyptian.
It means beyond the usual. And philia means love. These conditions used to be called the perversions. And on the street, they're called kinky sex.
See, like I cannot stand this shit. They're just like, well, we used to call it perversions, but that's not cool.
That's not enlightened.
Now we call it kinky sex, dude. It's just kink.
Yeah,
it's just kink, bro.
Yeah, people got the, people get freaky, I'm sure it's going to go back to judging. Who are you to judge?
Zoophilia is, according to the dictionary, is really love for animals. But usually people, when they talk about zoophilia, they talk about people who are in love or have an emotional connection with their animals, and they also have sex with their animals.
I gotta say, at least the people that were editing this seemed like they had a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah, like that, because that's great. That is chilling. That's like a chilling segue in there, and that Shining-esque thing going into the horse looking like terror, like that. I feel for you, buddy. I feel for you.
Trami says, and is widely known, Egyptians were really into cats. Prophet says, John Money is proof we fought for the wrong side.
I'll have to Google that later.
My first introduction to zoophilia came when I met Mark.
Friends riding with me used to drive them nutty. It's going along, and all of a sudden I'd back off the gas. I might even put on the brakes. Wow, look at her. And they snap their heads around. What? Where? Then they realize, oh, damn, it's a horse. Shouldn't say that unless it's some girl in a bikini.
He's had sexual relationships with animals for 40 years.
There's a horse up there on the right.
You tell if it's male or female.
A recent illness has left him.
He's like, honestly, I don't really care. Just fucking tuck it to the side and get down to business. That's what I say.
Well, I could tell you, because horses don't like foreplay. We know this. Get right in there and tell you real quick.
You just go. It's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Partially blind.
Do you think they're like the bulls from like the last video, where they want a little anal stimuli too? You know. Yeah. I guess not. If the horses go straight into it, you know. Like.
Well, we're gonna find out. We'll see. He's gonna talk about his relationships.
I guess.
Trump says a hole is a hole. Mine or your hole doesn't matter.
That's spoken like a guy who likes to party like a European.
Yeah.
He lives in a trailer home in the backwoods of Missouri. At the time I met Mark, sex with animals was not illegal in this state. And this allowed him to become the first zoophile to go public about his sexual preference.
Groundbreaking.
Mark shares his home with horses, dogs, donkeys, and Pixel.
I got a whole family circus of just fucking, man.
He's got a harem. He's got a whole harem of fucking sweet animal ass.
When I'm not pumping them with my essence, I do children's parties.
Yeah, I take my my Shetland pony here, Pixel, out to birthday parties. The kids ride him, and then I can bring her home, and then I ride her. Oh. Hey, you asked for this. You asked for this.
Oh, hey, I'm going to finish it. Don't even worry.
My territory, I get first shot at all the goodies. Pixel, looky here. Yeah.
Can you imagine like Eddie Murphy's voice just started coming out of talkie?
Pixel.
Hey, Honky, get out here and feed me.
Oh, you give me that goddamn apple, huh?
Give me that apple.
Yo, you give me 2 apples, maybe you get some ass, all right? 3 apples, I'll suck your dick. I'll lick it like a salt lick, motherfucker. Bring those salty balls over here.
Bring it here, man. Bring it here.
God damn it, Shrek. All right, let's do it.
In an unofficial ceremony 7 years ago.
I love Pixel. She's gorgeous. My God, that's a beautiful little pony. She's sweet. She's loving. I'm very proud of her. And I like to be able to tell people how wonderful she is.
He was so proud of his relationship with Pixel.
He's like, that's my old boyfriend. He's a real piece of shit. That's why he's outside. That's why he's outside.
Trummy says his ribcage.
Trummy says Rudy Ray Moore narrating.
God damn, another guy got Google.
Rudy Ray Moore. Actually, Eddie Murphy starred as him in the biopic.
Okay.
My Name is Dolomite or whatever.
Okay.
That Netflix movie from a couple years ago. Prophet says, why the fuck can't I give this shit super chats? Because I got to get over 1,000 subs. That's why.
Oh.
We're on our way, boys. We're on our way. This is definitely going to net me lots of subs.
That he made the extraordinary and potentially dangerous decision to go public about their marriage. He agreed to appear on one of America's most notorious talk shows.
Springer?
Jerry Springer.
Yes! Call that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it really wasn't that hard for early 2000s.
Well, for him, it would have been before because he was like, he's been out in the open for years. Because I think he was the subject of this guy's first documentary. Because he was like in Missouri where he lived, it wasn't illegal. So he was allowed to announce that he was a zoophile.
Gotcha.
Because for whatever reason, you would want to announce that. That's just like I don't know. Why would you care? Like, you know, what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom, you don't go tell everybody.
Yeah.
Or in your backyard or wherever, if your trailer park.
It's not like you're trying to go Dr. Phil there for a second, you know? And then you just revert back to regular voice.
See about all the fights. Well, today we have a love story.
A Springer show.
I love that.
Mark is what you might call
the king of trash TV. Truly.
In his crusade to be accepted, Mark agreed to appear on the Jerry Springer Show.
Meet the man who married his horse.
You are having intimate relations with a beast.
I would have totally watched this. If I saw this advertisement, I'd be like, where and when?
Where and when? I'm there.
Need for an answer.
I married a horse.
As soon as the audience saw what was coming up, you know, and welcome his wife, and here comes a pony. Well,
like he's reliving the magic. He's like hearing the cheers. It's like he's there again. The adulation. Best day of his fucking life, dude.
Best day.
It was in the fan. Then they just went crazy. I loved it.
He loves it. I don't know.
Jerry, well, at one point he says, I think I'm going to vomit. If I'd been faster on my feet, I would have replied, hey, it's your show. Go ahead.
This is
good one.
Sick, isn't it?
Yeah. Just like years of reflection afterwards, that's still the best he can come up with. We all had those moments where, like, I wish I said this. I wish
every
I did
time,
that, right?
every time the boys come over and he shows them this tape, like, let's watch the tape. Let's watch the tape. He says that same anecdote. He's like, man, if I was quicker on my feet, I said, go for it, buddy. Go for it. I'm gonna fuck this pony.
Hey.
Hey.
America never got to see Mark. The show was pulled, judged too controversial even for Springer.
What?
No way.
Are you serious? Like, you can have all sorts of crazy shit. People like fucking their fathers and in relationships with their aunts and getting pregnant by their brothers. But hey, man, the guy
draw the
marries a
line
horse.
at My Little Pony being violated, or the thought of that, right? Oh, jeez.
Pretty anthropocentric. That's what it is.
But yeah, I got to practice that in the mirror a couple times myself.
Yeah, I know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It is.
In Mark's hometown, rumors and jokes soon spread.
No.
In West Virginia, this is a true law. I'm not making this up. Down south in West Virginia, it's legal to have sex with an animal if it doesn't exceed 40 pounds. I used to see dogs just going, give me some more. Give me some more! More people in piss! I weigh 38 pounds, he's got a heart on!
It's like a Kinnison ripoff.
Yeah, definitely. But that's like 40 pounds. Like, why?
Well, you don't want to hurt yourself, Paul. It's really, they're looking out for you. You know, a horse could do some real damage.
No, it just, like, you think about, like, what goes into procedural, what's going to make law, the rationale, like, just think about there, like, you know, that smoky courtroom. Well, what's a reasonable weight for an animal to be sexually violated? Yeah, I say about 40 pounds. Okay, the beautiful state of West Virginia says 40 pounds is the threshold. Move
that's
on.
it. God damn it.
Well,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
You know, like, it can get pretty messy, dude. Like, there's actually there is a documentary, like a film documentary called The Zoo, and it's about these dirty perverts in upstate New York that would have like a farm, and they would go there and fuck animals, and they got caught by like the FBI, like with like millions of photos and all sorts of weird shit. But the reason they got caught is because the guy died because he was getting butt fucked by a stallion. And the stallion's dick pulled his guts out, and he died. Therefore, 40 pounds, that's what it's got to be, dude.
That is disgusting!
Be careful, Sandy. You're in Stix's territory. I've paid a price for this lifestyle. I've had to face up to some friends that just couldn't handle it and say, okay, well, you know, I hate to lose you as a friend, but I understand. I'm sure that I see my children much more often than I do. They claim they're okay with it, and I think they are, but they don't really want to talk about it. Don't like to be reminded of it too much.
Like actual children, or like one of those creepy people that says they're like puppies are their children.
No, he has actual children,
Oh,
and
fuck.
he doesn't. You know, he said when you come over to my house, you pay respects to the wife.
Mm.
You don't ignore a pixel. You don't just act like she doesn't exist, like she's not there. Insulting.
You have to
give her an
acknowledge.
apple.
Yeah.
Give her an apple, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
No, Dad, I don't want to. Give her a fucking apple, Terry.
Give her the apple. If I gotta tell you again, your dinner's over. You're done.
She's gonna start yelling at me like fucking Eddie Murphy if you don't give her that fucking apple. She calls me Shrek.
They understand it's a part of me.
Mark continues to promote a positive image of zoophilia.
Oh, Red Dog's coming up this way.
Oh, yeah?
He spends hours each day on the internet talking to other zoophiles from around the world.
Is that the trucker that stopped here a couple months ago?
Here they can communicate without fear of their identity being given away.
The internet, I think, has been...
All right, look at this. Okay, so this is their chat. This is their chat. So he's talking about the guy named Big Red, who is a trucker that stops by.
Okay.
Yeah, so the internet was a mistake, guys. All right, man.
No, it really was.
It really was, because it allowed people like this to connect and proliferate, and they set up meetups, and they're fucking dogs.
I just can't stop reading that. Hey, you want to role play real quick, man? You want to read this out?
Sure.
I'll be RD, UBC?
I'll be C.
Or do you want to be C? You want to Rochambeau for it?
Go ahead. You're the guest. BRD.
Oh, thank you, man. This is an honor. This truly is. Hey, did you get my email a while back?
I don't remember it, guy.
Oh, well, I was just letting you know. I'll be going up that way on the 17th.
All the way here, or just to LR's place.
And was planning on stopping by for a while. If it's all right with you and Hussy.
Mark says no problem.
Great. I'll have LRs most of the time, but want to swing by there as well. I'll be picking up my little big pup. Winky face. I need a drink after that, man. Oh, man.
A major
I told you
importance
I'll watch this, man.
in the forming of anything that could be described as a zoo community. Before that, contact with other zoos was extremely difficult.
I am naming him Marmaduke. The gallows humor, like, it's so dark. It's so dark. You can't help but just like laugh. It's so uncomfortable.
Like, is there like a slight bit of like awareness too? Are they just like
no? Well, I think there is an awareness that what they're doing is, like, for lack of a better way to put it, it's degenerate, and they know that, and they relish it. They revel in the fact that what they're doing is perverted. I am naming him Marmaduke. Like,
yeah,
are you sick fuck?
Yeah, there's this like Australian comedian. He does this bit. I forget his name. The big atheist dude. Where he's just saying, like,
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, Jeffries. Yeah, he was doing that whole bit of, like, if you're a pig fucker, as you were, like, and the whole thing is like, now because of the internet, you're part of a community instead of being a piece of shit. It's a great bit. I botched the paraphrase, but like that's.
No, but
just looking at this, like, IRC, from the early 2000s, just like, oh, God.
This is from 1998.
Oh, shit. Yeah, right up there. There's a timestamp.
Yeah, I think he's used footage from his first documentary in this documentary.
Your best friend could be boffing the beef on the side, and you'd never know he was a zoo unless he told you.
That's
another
like
thing. Most people with some type of hidden passion, right? You never know. Most people, they look like a regular guy until you found out they had people in their basement.
But again, that's the whole thing. It's about normalizing it. It's like normal people do this.
Yeah.
You never know, dude. Who knows?
Yeah.
Your buddy could be a fucking zoophile. He could be fucking his dog.
You
fucking Marmaduke, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Zodiac killer, just a regular guy on the streets, man.
Just a regular guy.
Just a regular guy.
Look at the power.
I'm surprised to find that no one has a clear idea of how many zoophiles there are. The only published data was by sexologist Alfred Kinsey. His survey in the 1950s only looked at bestiality, one-off sexual acts with animals. He reported that perhaps as many as 1 in 3 boys in rural areas had experimented with animals. But his research has since been discredited.
Well, like
To
most
get
of his
more
research
accurate
back then. The sample size and then unverified data collection sample, but like it's
Or like
but it's kind of like
yeah,
what the vegan thing too. It's just like we're going to name drop some old dead famous people and like all this stuff. So it's I should give it its credit. I should let it play out and not jump to conclusions here. But
well, that's the whole thing with Kinsey. It's like you said, like the sample size for everything Kinsey did was like very small.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I had sex with a dude. That must mean all men.
And self-reported.
Exactly. Yes. They're going off just like people coming in. They put out an ad in like a town or wherever they were, where they were doing research.
Mm-hmm.
And people like weirdos would come in and be like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking
Here's
do that
instructions
shit.
on how to measure your dick, both flaccid and erected. Do so. And everyone right back, fucking 8.5, sucker. Circumference.
Circumference is a Coke can down there.
Yeah.
The Institute for the Advanced Study of Human Sexuality in San Francisco conducted a survey of over 100 zoophiles.
I love the music. I love like the Native American whistles.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is very spiritual, Paul.
It is spiritual.
It's not just like this is not just some sort of degenerate act. Okay, this is about the soul. The soul yearns for what the soul wants, my friend.
Native music for land about animals that are not indigenous of that land.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition here is so rich with just demented. I'm just taking it in, Shaun. I'm here for the ride.
I wrote the book. Was a dog come for the soul. Like chicken soup for the soul.
Well, that's a labor of effort because, as I said at the beginning of this, dogs need foreplay.
They do. You got to put a lot of work in.
Yeah.
Prophet says, God fucking bless.
People in my study, some of them, not all of them, but some of them see their relationships with animals as very unique. They really love their animals. Some of them...
Yeah, because they have like mental illness.
Yeah, so do they only interview like sexologists, wherever the hell they come, or do they actually interview like any psychologists moving forward? I don't think that's going to spoil anything for me.
I don't think that. I think maybe at the end there's like a psychologist that gets into like the pathology of like why people do this stuff, but yeah, it's obviously
we didn't get to see Jerry Springer's breakdown. Remember at the end of every show he had this whole breakdown. He gave it as
the last word.
His last word as a psychologist. Here's what you need to do. Blah blah. So we didn't get that from Jerry because it got axed, right? So do we get any like objective, like some from like in a treatment, some element of sanity, like speaking about this, or is it all these like sexologist people
that are like trying to be like very understanding?
I get the idea of being empathetic. I get the idea of wanting to see where someone's come from, to understand, to help engage in dialogue, to bring somebody back to reality, to do that. So being gentle around the topic,
of course,
not pushing anybody away. Like I get that, but do they do anything with it, or is it just going to be this like this primer, man?
Prophet says, Paul, Sister Maria Filomena says hello.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he fucks her hogs.
Oh yeah, I bet he does.
Them treat the animals as a spouse, as a significant other. When I asked them to list down what is their marital...
Like she sounds like a Bond villain.
It's something nefarious is going on.
Vaguely right? European accent.
Mm-hmm. Like she sounds like she's about to describe something horrible that just happened. My village was destroyed.
What do you see? It's Mr.
My
Bond.
mother.
You see it, Mr. Bond. The goat, he came to me, and I fucked it. He's my husband, Mr. Bond. That's where I put the nuclear codes. Will you fuck this goat, Mr. Bond, to save the country?
For the world, Mr. Bond. For the world.
Put down that they're married to their animal.
I wondered if there was a common factor that could explain all this. Some psychologists believe that events in early childhood determine our sexual development.
Everybody has a love map, and it's very easy for them to go wrong. What makes one boy or one girl's love map develop so as to end up being zoophilic instead of just ordinary? Nobody knows. However, if I try to reconstruct it in the case of a zoophile, that in early infancy, this person was extremely deprived of tactile stimulation, which babies really need. And I've heard that story particularly from a woman paraphile who was kept locked away a lot of the time in the basement, and she was sexually molested by her uncle. She had been born of incest herself, and that was kept strictly undercover. And the only consolation she had in life was this little dog, and she would put it between her legs. And when she got fully grown, she liked it much better than her husband's form of sex. So you have a poignant story of how somebody could easily be switched along the path of...
Yeah, it's called you're being traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for something to provide you comfort, and your brain gets rewired. I mean, this happens to a lot of people that grow up with, I guess, deviant, aberrant behaviors. Usually a lot of it's, from when you're a kid. But, although I suppose like the reason why he's like dancing around it, probably especially at the time, is because this would have been the Born This Way campaign.
Mm.
Would have been around this time, looking for the gay gene.
Right, but you're not born that way. Terrible things happen to people, and terrible like habits form from that.
Yeah.
And and the way he's like recanting this terrible story that he's heard.
Nobody knows.
Trauma. It just like nobody knows, and she likes it better than her. Like it's no, she doesn't know what she needs help. She's like working through something,
Yes.
So like who knows what kind of triggers she's having that's make her get that comfort that she had when it's hairy, man. That is fucked up. That is terrible, and I just don't like the way he recanted that in this. It makes me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Well, because I mean, he's got clinical distance, I suppose you could say.
Not in that jovial.
If I want to be, if I want to be charitable,
when he just recanted that, like, and she liked it better than her husband's.
So what does that mean, guys?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that means there's something to it. That means there's something to it.
Nobody knows.
Look at this Egyptian shit I have in the back. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at this. Very mysterious.
You see this lapel I have? You see this? You see this pin? I'm a smart guy.
Yeah.
I'm a smart guy.
Look at
I got
this
double
tie.
Windsor knot on this tie here. And listen to me. There's nothing wrong with the animals enjoying their bodies. And you enjoying those animals enjoying their bodies. Think about the little girl with the puppy. Dude, I don't know. I'm going to finish. I will finish this. I would. I would have stopped. I would have stopped this.
No, you wouldn't have. You fucking liar.
No, I'm being honest. I would have stopped this.
You would have stopped it. You wouldn't have made it all the way through just out of morbid curiosity.
No, I'm a man of my word, John. I said I'd finish this, but if I was on my own, I would not be watching this anymore.
Well, if we're still if we get to the end of this, we can watch a video about a German guy who's married to his dog.
Oh boy.
Of zoophilia. And incidentally, nobody would ever live next door to that lady and guess that she otherwise passed as a normal mother and housewife.
They love saying that. They love saying it's like you would never guess. You would never know.
Right.
You would never know.
Just normal, like.
Prophet wants to know, Shaun, can you eat a mango for 13 minutes while we ponder this? I want to start all nightcaps now just eating something for 13 minutes. We watched a video about why white men like black bulls to fuck their wives, the cuckolds.
Oh.
And it was like this black lady, and she eats a mango for 13 minutes before she starts talking about the subject at hand. It's just 13 minutes of her talking about how good this mango is. It was wild. It's the perfect microcosm of Nightcap because we never know what we're going to get into. And the whole time I'm like, is she still eating this melon? I'm like skipping ahead. I'm like, how could she still be eating this fucking melon? But anyways. He was so normal.
Not all zoophiles have been abused as children. For Mark, his interest began with simple adolescent curiosity.
The first time I even had an inkling of sexual attraction or the idea of an animal as a sex object, 16 years old, a good friend of mine and I had been riding a little pony cart around near his grandparents' farm. And at the end of the ride, to take proper care of the equipment and the pony, he handed me a brush and a comb and told me to wipe the horse down, comb her, and brush her. And I got around toward the back end of that little pony, and she had her tail up in the air. And something just went
his eye twitch.
in my mind.
Live in that moment.
Oh yeah,
he's probably like sparking up a chub right now too.
Dude, this guy is hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Pixel's gonna get it good later. Let me tell you what.
Yeah,
he's got 4 apples for that bitch.
We'll get brushed down and dick down.
Girl pussy, pony pussy, pussy.
Yeah, keep saying it, man. Keep saying it.
Just keep saying it so you convince yourself.
Yeah.
Well, now you know where that's from. I might have said that to you before. I've been saying that to people for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I get it now. I get it. It's a much richer reference now. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Pony pussy. Pony pussy.
Human pussy. Pussy.
I looked around real quick.
Looked around, see if anybody's looking.
Mama Duke. Mama Duke around.
Touched it.
Whoa. Whoa.
The music for this is great, by the way.
I know whoever was the producer on this, whoever were the editors, must have been having a blast. Like, what else are you supposed to do? You have to acknowledge, in a meta sense, the inherent
ridiculousness of
ridiculous,
this.
Odd nature of it.
Yeah. Ugh.
Trying to do all the right stuff. Ask girls out to the right movies, and of course, well, they were busy. Maybe try to get him to go out and eat a burger and shake or something like that. Well, they're busy, but, ask me again sometime. And sometime never came. So when I actually went out and had intercourse with that pony mare, I didn't feel that I was being weird. I felt that I was being superior. It sounds horrible. It's a
because it is horrible. It is horrible. You can't get a date for a milkshake and a cheeseburger, so you fuck a pony. It makes you feel superior. There's a lot to break down here. There's a lot.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Here. Like, you got to put out. You got to put out. Like,
so do ponies? They're not just little horses, right? It's kind of a different species. Maybe this is a question for profit, but like,
well, they're like smaller horses.
They need, but do they get straight to the business too? Because if so, then maybe that's why he doesn't look. So
we saw that they need to be at least plied with apples. We know that.
Well, that was his bottom bitch horse that we saw there. It's like years of commitment and putting.
Well, that's his wife. It's his wife. That's the wife.
Right.
Take care of the wife. Yeah,
that's the wife. That's the wifey treatment. But I'm talking about his superiority complex, where he's like, oh, I got turned down. Like, you just go right in for it. Because I don't know if ponies. I don't know much about it. I think I heard a long time ago that they are meaner than horses. So I just wonder how that went down.
He tamed the beast.
If he was
like
quicker at the moment,
he's a horse whisperer. He's a horse whisperer, dude. He just knows.
Yeah, it's just something.
It's a spiritual connection.
Personality flaw and so forth, but yeah, I thought I was being superior. Yeah, I outsmarted the system.
In a way, the system, dude.
Like, in a way, right? It's just like, like who's wear the crown, I the beholder, right? If this is the norms, like, I'm striking out over here, or am I striking out? Because everyone's trying to get these hot dates on these, milkshake and cheeseburger dates, apparently, because they're showing that like 50-esque footage, right? But nobody's after these little ponies. I got cream of the crop. I am slaying. I am killing it. I am crushing it. So in a way, he did beat the system. If you change the operating system completely.
I mean, back in the day when he was a kid, what is a bushel of apples? Like $2? How much is a burger and shake? Like 5 or 6 for both of you?
Oh man, he probably had apple. He probably didn't have to pay for shit. Probably have to
pay for shit. The barn.
And now you're saving on gas from driving down there, getting the milkshake.
It's a way to feel appreciated. Because
vegan lady would be all about it too, because now they're not partaking in the beef, right? Now they're not eating a cheeseburger, so she'd be all about this.
Well, somebody's taking some beef. I can tell you that much. But
they outgained the system.
He feels good because like all he has to do for the pony is show up. If you meet one of these anthropomorphic women,
show out, man.
One of these women folk, you gotta fucking take them out. You gotta talk to them. With a pony, you give them a little bit of a brush down. You get out of business.
You gotta brush that down.
Prophet says, in reference to your question, no comment.
I
don't know.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
As soon as he gets that super chat figured out, he'll comment. Oh, he'll comment. It'll come.
I got even with all the girls. Who needs them?
By the end of this video,
great. Yeah, this was so good that sex with a woman would probably kill me.
It would probably kill me because it's so fucking lame.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, none of these ponies are lame.
Yeah, it would be lame. You know why, buddy? You know why? Because you got to put in effort and some consideration and do a bunch of other stuff leading up to it that you can't with My Little Pony. I mean, you just brush. You don't have to worry about, not being spicy. You don't have to worry about, making sure, everything's taken care of. There's all kinds of groundwork that you don't have to do with this. So I guess it goes back to, he did game the system. He just changed the outcome,
He's like, he gets to tell the pony all of his weird political opinions, and the pony doesn't look at him twice. The pony doesn't be like, well, that's a little weird, man. Why are you saying that? You don't have to explain yourself. The pony just accepts.
They just accept.
Accept your voice, your heart, your soul, your seed. It's all about acceptance.
All about that.
Isaiah said, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. And so we are living in a day when people want to call evil.
See, like this, the vegan lady would be freaking out right now. She's like, is that a preacher? Is he quoting the Bible? Why is he quoting the Bible? Why does he have to do that?
Because it's put over a frame of a train coming right at you. So just relax, sister. Just relax. It's
just relax.
We got it. Think about
good and good evil. When man has turned a deaf ear from hearing what God says in his word.
Train chicken.
Oh, Lord Jesus, I pray, God, this morning that you would just create a new heart in us today, Lord.
Mark grew up in the Bible Belt. His father was a preacher, and his upbringing came strictly from the Old Testament.
Father, I thank you for the blood of Jesus today, hallelujah, that cleanses us and that washes us clean and whole so that we might be
God, I wish I could feel something this intense just once in my life.
Well, you never bought into it, though. You have to.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wish I could. I wish there's a small part of me that wishes I could just like let it go and just like embrace it. Because
you can. You just got to train. You got to do it.
You got to be groomed. You got to be groomed like this, like Pixel.
Right, but you didn't go up in this version or whatever that is. You went up the old Catholic, old crazy way. So you don't get any of that. You don't get any of that.
You don't get any of this.
Broken
You're
knees.
supposed to. It's all about stoicism. It's all about shut up and
penance.
Sinnable and ready to appear before the glorious God. Amen.
Leviticus 20:15 and 16. If a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman. And the
bestiality is a sin that goes back.
But why's the beast guy get killed? You know what I mean? They didn't do anything. They just took it.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Why?
Are they implying that the beast had the power to seduce?
Yeah, no, the beast wanted it.
Is this a shared sin?
A bull's going to do bull things,
Is this a shared sin? It's not a shared sin. I think the sin kind of goes one way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe this beast needs to be rehabilitated.
I don't know, but we're waiting to say the Old Testament was crazy. You know what I mean?
Who amongst us?
Who am I?
Goes back to the Old Testament passages of Deuteronomy and Leviticus and some like that. And
I first read it as Weasley, but Vesey, Reverend John Vesey. So
it's from the Old Testament, some dumb bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Don't do it. Do not do it.
No, but you look like one of those piglets that they would like smash immediately because it looked deformed. And it's not going to make it there.
This guy looks like a little bit. He looks kind of intense.
Mm-hmm.
He looks kind of intense. There's this.
Yeah, because he didn't get the business. He didn't get the business post birth. So that's what they grew up to be. That's why they smash them there. That's why you have standard practice.
Exactly. From the outside looking in, outside of context, in a vacuum, it looks bad, right? But
do you think he has that Leviticus section like bookmarked right behind him?
Probably because they're pros. These people are pros.
You don't fuck that animal. You don't fuck that animal.
It's like he's trying to convince himself.
Fuck that animal. Horse pussy, human pussy, horse pussy. Oh God,
pussy.
Yeah.
Whether that was going on at that time, we're not sure, but at least in the foreknowledge of God and the wisdom of God.
Actually, that's a good point. That he's saying, like, oh, we didn't know. We don't know if they were doing that at the time, and that's why, it had to be written down in the Word to deter people from doing it, you have to assume that people were fucking animals, dude. That vegan lady was right. You know?
Well, everyone's right in a certain point. We just talked about that guy, actually gaining the system. At the end of the day, he was the winner in his world, right? If you look at your desired outcome, the pursuit of happiness, what makes you happy? What do you desire? Who's winning? Shaun, who's winning? Think about it.
That's true. Yeah. Jeremobi says this guy looks like someone from the 90s news screen Instagram handle. Actually, he does. Yeah, that like 90s news screen capture Instagram. Travis says, the producer called this guy and asked if he could include bestiality into the Sunday sermon, and his congregation is going to be asking themselves, okay, who here fucked a donkey? That's true. He's going to put a lot of weird ideas in everybody's head. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we covering Deuteronomy?
Knowing what man could do and what he could be capable of. God really condemns bestiality in the scripture and the word of God. In fact, the penalty for that was death.
Everything in the Old Testament is death.
That's true. It's kind of a brutal time, Like, did you steal something? Cut your hand off.
Death.
Death.
Looked at your neighbor's wife? Death. You worship that cow? You fuck that cow? Death. Death, 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 death.
Pre-Christian pagan cultures were openly fascinated with sexuality in all its forms.
Well, thank God we evolved past that, huh? They're just like, hey, man, people used to do this. It's not that weird.
Yeah, but it's crazy too. Like, I'm sure people thought things were funny too back then as well. Like, hey, look, I'm gonna make this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like people back in the day obviously still had like what we would consider like the troll's heart, right? What if they're just people like back then be like writing like this is like your dirty doodles when you're a kid and you think it's funny, you show your friend, like, yo, check this out. This guy just fucking smeared shit on a wall, and now it's there forever. Because it was in a cave somewhere, preserved by happenstance, and people are like, "Wow!"
You get all these overeducated people reading into it,
Yeah, that was Todd. That was just Todd fucking around. The fuck? We were smoking peyote. We were telling funny stories. And he told me about this fucking deer thing, and I was making fun of him. I drew it on there. I said, "That you, buddy? Look, it's."
Well, the joke was Zog always fucks donkey, so we wrote Zog. Painted Zog on wall, fucking donkey.
And often worshipped the image of animals. They saw less distinction between human and animal.
Getting back to the
They
Greeks.
believed in hybrid.
Wait, but did they see a less of a distinction, or were they just hedonistic? I would suggest that they're just hedonistic.
I was just the latter too, but the freaky Greeks, man.
Well, but a lot of Greek and late Roman culture was just, well, at least in terms of what we know, because it wasn't everybody. It was like the rich people. The rich people were complete degenerates.
Yeah,
fucking little boys, fucking whatever this is.
No, because it's like when you have it all, Shaun. What do you do? What do you do?
I know, and that's maybe where we've cycled around to it. Like we found ourselves in the same paradigm. Yeah. Like with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and all that kind of stuff being brought up again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe they figured out. Or maybe back to like My Little Pony dude, man, where he figured out he didn't have to be rich and powerful yet. He's like, I got nothing. But you know how I get everything? I changed the dynamic.
I gamed the system, dude.
I beat that system.
The system.
See, this is doing more to clear the blurred lines than Vegan Lady so far. That guy and his like little short, like I gamed the system. You know what I mean? Yeah. He had a stronger point because at least it was honest, right? He's not gloating about, I'm sorry.
Just him and RD and Marmaduke and Pixel, just like really just telling us how it is.
Marmaduke, yeah, baby.
Like this isn't just for elites now. This is for everybody.
This is for everybody.
This is for the common man.
I look like any other guy. It's for everybody.
RD, he looks like my uncle.
Yeah.
Creatures. The offspring of interspecies sex. Here, half man, half goat.
Yo, check this picture out.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
All this changed with the arrival of Christianity.
But again,
the
great
new
music to throw right back into
it. To be
it.
human was not to be animal. Man must conquer his base animal instincts to rise.
Is that a bad thing? Jesus Christ. Trami says the commodification of pony fucking. I know.
It's closer to his god. Satan was often shown as a beast. At first, offenders were not punished, but during the Middle Ages, bestiality was considered as evil as homosexuality and sex with demons. By the 1500s, the offense so challenged the accepted order of man and...
This reminds me of that meme, that one with James Franco, your first time? From the Coen Brothers movie.
See, he's hanging upside down. If you eat so much damn foreplay, we wouldn't have gotten caught.
Yeah, these dogs are like, yo, dude, what the fuck, man?
Really?
What the fuck, man? Why you bring us into this bullshit?
Just why? Why?
Punished by death. Maybe this explains why we still demand severe penalties, with up to a 2-year prison sentence in the UK. But this does not deter individuals or even couples with families.
This does not just deter any pervert. No matter what their status in life is if they want to be a pervert, they will be a pervert.
Yeah. Like we heard from the other pervert.
Oh, now you like that other guy, you can kind of like, it's almost like easier to accept that guy, the weird guy in the trailer, you're like, okay, you seem like a weird fucking guy. Like you seem like a sicko. But some of these other people, you're like, what's going on? Some of these people are like married to each other and they do it together. It's like, oh boy, here we go.
Speaking of which, we haven't seen Bonnie Tyler in a minute.
Oh, Bonnie Tyler's coming back. Oh, trust me. They're going to make their glorious return right about now.
Can't wait.
Come on.
Well, first we got to deal with Paul Bunyan.
Michael has brought the family dog to visit Laurie, his wife.
I got the peanut butter in the back, baby.
Laurie and Michael are now separated, but for 25 years...
Oh, I wonder why. So this is her like her beau, and he's like bringing the dog that she's in love with to visit. It's like a weird custody thing, which is much darker than Mark and Pixel.
Yeah, man.
Oh. Much weirder, much more degenerate. Don't worry, Paul. Stay well. Welcome to Nightcap, everybody.
They shared their lives with 2 children and various animals. It's been 3 months since Laurie has seen her lover, Baby Golden.
Kisses and hugs. You are such a...
When they broke up, they decided the dog should stay with Michael.
To watch our golden retriever and her interact is just awesome because, I mean, he just adores her and she loves him, and it's really cool. It's just really neat.
Look how
I want Caesar Milan to bust right in here and just beat the fuck out of all these people.
But
that
look how,
would be like the best
dude,
thing ever.
This dude is so turned on. This guy, the Paul Bunyan guy, is low key the biggest perv. Because he's getting turned on by everything. Even this golden retriever that his wife has sex with, just seeing them together is very powerful.
Because I know what goes on.
My baby. Oh.
Laurie and Michael were both
It's
sexually...
like a weird circus music or whatever it is. It's like Funhouse Mirrors music. Yeah, to disorientate you. You're like, oh shit, I don't know what's going on. Are these people really talking about fucking their dogs? I don't know.
Yeah.
What is happening? I'm liking looking at your face. This is a man who's being traumatized in real time.
Man, I would have stopped this a long time ago on my own. Man.
He's a liar. This is lies.
Active with animals when they married. With the arrival of children, they agreed to give up their animal passions.
Oh, that's so
years,
thoughtful of them.
It's pretty magnanimous.
That's so
of them.
thoughtful. Like, let's try to start like somewhat of a perceived Judeo-Christian stable upbringing and not fuck our family dog in front of the kids. Let's get that up for a little bit for the children.
Paul Bunyan
for the children.
He was just dying for these kids to grow up and get the fuck out of the house. He's like, I gotta get back to business. This has been the longest 18 years of my life.
Again, I want Caesar Milan to come out here and just beat the fuck out of these people.
No,
that'd be so great.
No,
so great. No,
no,
no. You do not fuck that dog. No,
no.
When I said pack leader, I did not mean this. No.
Michael found this too difficult.
Oh, there it is. Too hard for him.
When you wake up in the middle of the night and your husband's not there, the barn is rather close to the house, for no reason, okay, why is he out there? And a wife usually knows.
A wife knows.
A wife knows.
A wife knows.
She knows. He knows. But you know who doesn't know? The animal that's about to get fucking molested. Unless they do. I mean, I wonder at some point do these horses, do they get like he's coming here. All right, it's going to last
I guess
5 minutes.
It's conditioning. They get conditioned, right? Because they got like peanuts
disgusting.
for brains. They get conditioned into thinking it's normal, probably even liking it to a certain extent. They probably even present themselves in a way.
Yeah. Fucking
A. Wasn't aware that my wife was aware that I had reestablished my intimate relationship with my mare.
She felt this betrayal really deeply. Prophet says, average European man, 55 BCE. Caesar has crossed the Rhine. I must bring my women and children south to offer up some kind of defense for the glory of my tribe. Average man in 2005. Do I fuck this horse? Tromby says, when you wake up in the middle of the night, your husband is on a business trip and you're really horny and you just have to fuck your mare, and you can't help that. Can't help it.
The body wants what the body wants. I mean, they're enjoying their body. I'm enjoying their body.
It was just, I was trying at that time to be true to myself and the loved ones in my life. And sometimes juggling those things is no small task.
It was a very difficult situation. It's like, fine, you want to be with her, then be with her. So I would get resentful and remove myself out of the triangle.
And Paul Bunyan would come to me and said, grow the fuck up. Grow up. This is who we are. This is what we do.
Think of it as a triangle, hon. Think of it as a wobbly H. Spice this marriage up. Let's stay for the children.
Oh, have you seen this before?
Huh? Well, she was at the beginning talking about like doing this stuff.
Yeah, no, she does it too. I mean, she does it too. Like, that's the whole thing. It's just like they decided, like, when they had kids, like, oh, we're gonna put it on pause. Like, what's the and as it goes on, I think they get into it in this. It seems like she was kind of more like pushed into it in terms of like she's like very submissive. Like, this was like his thing, and then she was able to bring herself there to please her husband in a certain, and then it becomes your own predilection.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
No,
I mean, who hasn't?
It's
who
like
hasn't gaslit their partner into fucking an animal.
It's like that thing we watched a long time ago with like the swingers. You could just tell that like she was just trying to make her husband happy, and she kind of like went along with it, and like you could tell wasn't into it.
Yes,
but on the extreme, other species side, God.
I mean,
cheers,
that's good.
buddy.
Let's take exactly. Welcome to NIGHTCAP. Like, it's just like, oh God. I mean, I don't know.
Because of the sexual tension and the secrecy, I wanted him to tell me. And so he started to pour all this out of the pain that he had gone through. And, it became very honest. He told me about all the relationships. He really, for the first time, expressed how deeply he felt and how much his love was for horses.
Michael and Laurie agreed to bring back Michael's mares into their relationship.
what was interesting, though, and this is because of how we can be in our relationships, we can be very possessive. And a real loving relationship is not about possessing another living soul. And she says, well, I got to come out and watch. And I went, oh. And I discovered.
He said double fun. Double fun. Oh, do you?
I've discovered that.
Remember that gig we did at that swingers party? Where he's like, hey, you want to watch me get fucked by this Samoan?
Dude, I actually told that story, I think on Monday night.
Oh, yeah?
I did a thing about cucks and bulls. And like one of the videos was about like people that set up swinger parties. I was just like, that night we went to that swingers party.
Oh man. I got the best gigs, man.
I know you did. You really did. The Gold Bar, is that what it was? The Gold Bar? The hotel bar? Prophet says, it's always his thing. How many cuckold stories begin with the man wanting to lap nut? The woman reflects her husband, and if Satan is your daddy.
Yep. True.
Well, that's true. A lot of the times with those things, it's always the husband that like really pushes it.
Right.
For the most part.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure not.
Mostly, yeah.
It's like, what is it? Most of the time, but not all.
Right.
But it seems like that seems to be a trend where you find like submissive women that will just like do it because like their modus operandi is to just please their husband regardless. Some people are like that.
Yeah.
You know? I wish I could. I'd like to find me one of those. You know what I mean?
I found one of those.
You know what I'm saying? I can't even get a sandwich around here. God damn.
The worst.
With the proper people, I'm not ashamed of that also. I was a bit intimidated because knowing how emotional my wife can be about some things, I thought, oh gosh, if she loses it during this can get ugly. But
notice how he slipped in there. I'm comfortable around the proper people. So he's into exhibitionism. He's probably done this in front of his other dudes.
Yeah.
Other mare fuckers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it's sex ed at the end of the day, right? So if you get in that space, right, you're like, well, this is how you properly do it. This is how you enjoy your body, enjoying the whole mare's body. This is how it's done. Here's how you can do it. And then hopefully that's the guy that died.
Right? Well, they call it they're going to bring it up later. It's called right height, no bucket.
Oh, great. We get so we get technical in this too. Awesome.
We get tech tips. Yeah, tech tips. Prophet says not all, but most, which is a Jesse Lee Petersonism. Not all dog fuckers.
But the neat thing was she came out and watched, and it was another opportunity to bring us all closer.
We didn't have to go on a fancy retreat for the weekend. She just came out to the bar and watched me fuck this horse, and then I've never been so much more attracted to her in my life. Oh my god!
A beautiful thing happened. We really came together. We really felt like we were part of something together, a union.
I haven't felt the spark since we saw our first child born. You know, it was just that deep and compassionate.
Yeah. I've never seen a pussy blown this wide open.
Horse
since
pussy.
Then.
Horse pussy, human pussy. Oh, yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. She says, well, can't have any other women. And I'm going, well, I don't have an issue with that because women can make awesome friends. I enjoy speaking and visiting with women. But overall, you stand a pretty woman and a pretty mare, I'll take the mare.
Okay. I shared him with.
He's like, it's cool. Hey, listen, it's cool if it's just a horse. It's cool if it's a horse.
Yeah, you fuck a horse, you know, whatever. That's your own prerogative, but you know, don't get with another bitch. And I tell you, I'm sure in that area, I'm sure he's a catch. You know, I'm sure he's a catch.
Oh, look at him! Yeah, he's a Paul Bunyan type. Those eyebrows. That's like you know. That's the thing.
I'm sure it's probably why the horses like him too, man. Like you know, it looks like a provider, Shaun. He looks like a provider. He looks like someone that could maybe satisfy a horse with the proper people in place and facilitating it, of course. But,
yeah, of course, and the proper audience and the right circumstances and probably some dark web, red room, and a webcam. Yeah. He's ready to go.
Absolutely.
He's ready to go. He's ready to find love. Trami says, quote unquote, I have many women friends. I don't have a problem with women.
Yeah.
3 other horses.
I think you do.
There were times where I could accept it. there were times when I resented it because I wanted him there for me.
Over here.
Laurie felt their relationship.
Imagine being cucked by a horse.
You know, it's just like any like shred of respect, like for yourself, right? Like this is the father of my children over there, just like plowing this horse. Like this is what I got to compete with. This like I am in this predicament. I am in this place where he would rather go like busting in a horse than spend. Wow. Well, maybe if you weren't such a bitch, Karen. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Can you imagine her? She's like, you know, it's like 4 a.m. She's down in the kitchen. She's made some tea. She's sitting in the living room. It's all dark. Maybe smoking a Newport. He comes in. Where you been? Where you been, Dave?
Dude, you know, it's like a Maverick 100 thing. Menthol flavor. Right? They're not doing a Newport in that region there, buddy. You know what's going on. You know that type.
Trami says, talk about bringing a bull into the relationship. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Not continue. She insisted they separate while they work it out.
Smart.
There may come a time where we could all live together, but, you know, he does miss the inside companionship, having somebody to cook dinner now and then, take a shower with, you know, have a massage. There are certain things that an animal...
Yeah, there's certain things a horse can't do. They don't have thumbs.
Yeah.
They're all hooves, those things.
They can't cook, you know, they can't have a conversation with you. You can try. You can try to, you know, pack on the beautiful till you're the size of a horse, you know, and then maybe you keep packing on more beautiful, you know.
All these horror
it might be,
and
you know,
dogs,
it might be
they
a
won't
chapter
cook me
2.
nothing.
You know, there might be another part 2 here, but you know, we'll see. Until then, you got to live in this life in between spaces here.
Yeah. He wants it all. This guy wants it all, dude. Paul Bunyan wants it all. I need to have the mare. I need to have the dog. I gotta have the wife.
Oh god.
I need a sandwich when I come in. I'm tired after I come in while a bunch of like 50 dudes on the internet watch me fucking dick down this horse. I'm tired. I need a nosh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Need a ham sandwich.
Oh my god.
Animal relationship can't provide.
And the music.
Animal
passions.
Yeah.
Oh no. A grave.
Zoophiles are not alone in their love for animals. Many pet owners have such intense relationships that when their pets die, they grieve as if they've lost a loved one.
Well, that's
but the idea of
the only normal thing I fucking heard in this entire thing so far.
Well, it's just like you can make a connection with an animal, obviously, right? Like you can provide each other comfort in some respect. Some people take it a little farther, you know?
You know, yeah.
Any sexual contact would horrify them. It will be as unnatural as having sex with a child.
Now, we can love children very deeply, and yet that love is not shown in any sexual desire for the children. We all love our own children very much, and they're very, very few.
Wait, was he the author of?
Over the line.
This whiskey's catching up.
Hold on.
Of any sexual contact would horrify them. It will be as unnatural as having sex with a child.
Now, we can love children very deeply, and yet that love is not shown in any.
Author of Dogs Never Lie About Love. So he's talking about just like people that have connections with animals, not sexual connections.
Right.
And they're drawing the parallel about like how you would love a child unconditionally with your whole heart and being. But you would never want to have sex with it.
Right.
You know?
Because, you know, that would hurt you. That would
like,
hurt them. That would cause pain.
And if a doctor didn't write a book about it, like, how would we know?
How would we know? Because we're not doing that, you know, that Bible thing. Oh, Christ, no.
Trami says platonic love. That's right.
Yeah,
that's the word.
Yeah. What?
That's the term.
Yeah. That's the term for us there, buddy.
Look at the big brain on Tarami. Hey, fuck you, buddy.
Trying to come in here, flex the comments. Fucking smarty pants.
Sexual desire for the children.
Trami, if you were a human, if you were a horse, I'd be fucking right now, man. You watch it, man. You watch that.
You watch it, buddy. You're lucky you're not a mare. You're lucky you're not a beautiful mare.
We're on D-Live. We're on D-Live right now. I'll be throwing so many lemons at you, Tarami. What the fuck, man? Try to come at me with that shit.
Apples. I'll be like, suck on that. Suck on that.
Yeah.
Love our own children very much, and there are very, very few humans who cross over the line and attempt to have sex with their children. But it is interesting that the adults who do, who are almost invariably male, always claim that the child initiated the sexuality. I find that very interesting in terms of humans who claim that the animals are initiating the sexuality. I think that's an excuse. I think it's
exactly. Well, that's the thing. It's a rationalization. They're like, oh, what are you talking about? They approached me. They fucking sniffed my nuts. This dog was sniffing my nuts, dude.
Yeah.
You wanted it. Trami says, I'm not a horse, but I'm fucking one right now.
The form of denial. I don't think it's real.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, doctor.
Tell me, Mark, how do we know that?
Oh, thank God a doctor laid it out for us. Like, no, I think that maybe that's a weird rationalization. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, hey, at least we got somebody that they interviewed, right, to say, yeah, no. Other than that, like the creepy Bible guy,
or the creepy Bible guy, or the British sexologist have been like, yes, well, some people prefer the love of their child more than others, and this is not common, but it is something that happens.
Indeed.
Just like the ancient Egyptians. Have you heard about Leda and the Swan?
Have you?
You're not forcing sex on your animals, and that they're actually giving consent.
Consent is one of the slippery issues among discussions between zoophiles and non-zoophiles.
Yeah, how do you think Marmaduke feels? This new dog that this guy was trucking up to Missouri. He's gonna pick up the big pup. How do you think Marmaduke felt when he was ambushed by you fucking weird perverts? Do you think Marmaduke even had a chance to consent? Did you ask Marmaduke? Did you give him a bone? No pun intended.
Was this the consent right here? Yeah, I'm letting you know.
Look, it's kissing me, dude.
No. So there it goes. Answer my question from earlier. Yeah, into the foreplay. Got it.
Yeah. Look, I put this treat in my mouth and it kisses me.
If I ever decide to get frisky, then I'll go.
That's what you got to start doing, Paul. You got to start putting apples and Oreos in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Send them a running. Really
I live in an equestrian wonderland, man. I got plenty of opportunities out here. If this was my thing.
And I'm not saying that it is, but if I wanted
not saying it is, the lines that
if something has awoken in me from seeing like-minded people. I'm just saying.
What a great frame to freeze on. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's love.
It's just the best. It's just the best.
Who are we to judge?
Take Pixel, for example. She's not tied up. She could walk away. She could run away. She could kick the living.
But she don't.
But Jesus out of me. She could bite. Horses are not defenseless. The friends of mine with dogs, well, not dogs. You ever try to do something to a dog really didn't like? At least the dog that has all its teeth.
I think the problem.
That's his argument. That's his argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you groom them. Like dogs and animals are primal creatures. They do not conceptualize sexuality in the same way that anthrocentric people
do. And a lot of the animal kingdom they look at is dominance. What are you doing? Like we say, remember with the rabbits we raised, right? It had nothing to do with sexuality. They were crazy and dominant.
Yeah.
They do that. There's no spiritual awakening there. There's nothing. That's just what.
Well, it's not emotions in the way that we understand emotions. It's not love. It's about continuing your species. It's a primal base level thing, and people have that in them. We have that primal thing. That's why, if you're a man, there's certain identifiers in woman, like big breasts, like a nice ass, like childbearing hips, like these are things that, that's what we kind of innately are attracted to. Animals, but we tie it up with emotions though, because we tie it up with relationships.
No, they tie it up with their own bullshit, project it onto them to make it rationalize it for the entryway, to grease the skids there. But nothing that animal emoting is coming in any form of consent, any stretch of the imagination.
Not in the way that we conceive it. No, they are fucked because it's not in the way that we conceptualize it, and they know that. Come on. The Fritzl defense. The door was open, but they didn't leave.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, listen.
Well, they didn't say no.
They didn't
say
no.
Stop. Their eyes said yes.
These kids that we kept in a basement never tried to escape.
Did you see what they were wearing? You don't wear
Here is that we are
You
talking
see those reins? That pony is loved.
About domestic species. And the very definition of a domestic species is that they are under our control. So my problem with zoophilia is that it is a one-way street. It is not the animal who is choosing to have a sexual relationship with us. It is we who are imposing a sexual relationship upon the animal.
Imposing such a light way of putting it.
There is no doubt that they are into the moment if one understands how horses react. I mean, sex is pretty straightforward, folks.
This guy is the guy.
I don't want to see this guy anymore.
Oh, this is the coup de grace. This is my favorite part. This is like we're coming up on my favorite line from this dude.
Here we go, buddy. Here we go.
Member A goes into slot B. At that moment of orgasm, for lack of a better word, the two souls actually merge and touch, albeit for a brief instant. And it's humbling. And yet it's so intense, it's rejuvenating.
Like listen to how delusional this dude is.
Yeah.
He thinks he's having a spiritual connection with his horse when he fucking busts a nut. He busts a nut. And he's trying to extrapolate basically and draw a parallel between the experience where you're having hot and heavy and very intimate sex with a woman.
Right.
Where you do feel that connection. You feel that deeper thing. When everybody, you're coming, she's coming, everyone's coming at the same time. They're coming and the sucking. So he's trying to draw that parallel, being like, well, it's really beautiful. It's humbling. It's powerful.
No.
Something there.
No, it's like this bestiality guru's speech. It's his opus. It's the best way he can articulate this experience that he's having, and it's probably the best way he articulated anything. He probably described that just now better than the birth of his first child. This is the amount of joy that came out of his face, the convincing, disgusted passion that just oozed out of his body and just went up my spine, and it's making me drink my fourth glass during this 40-minute film. Is just, that's authentic as fuck. And that is creepy, and that is just
because he keeps going back to that. That's his rationalization. This is a deeper spiritual experience. It's not just,
you're not on the level. It's a spectrum. There's a way to connect, and if you're not open to it, if you're not making that connection, then you just don't understand. And I don't have time to explain it to you because it's either you get it or you don't.
It's like when I try to explain internet bullshit to Paul.
Yeah.
I don't have time to tell you all about this. You need to know. Prophet says, off-topic note, my new video with 2 views that was unlisted about how coronavirus is over was just deleted by YouTube before I could even share it. They are watching, brothers.
Odyssey.
Yeah, actually, Prophet, you belong in Odyssey. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Trami says that he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Mares do orgasm. Yes, they do. Call them maregasms.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. I'm glad you got this.
Actually, back one of the times I watched this, I can't remember which time it was. Prophet actually came in and he's like, that sounds like the greatest band name ever. Is Maregasm.
Maregasm.
Their orgasms, a lot of times, they will. You can feel their muscles tense up, and they kind of oomph, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, like a person.
Just that release before they just ejaculate.
Yeah, I've seen many a mare O-face.
So into that.
I like to throw a big mirror up in the barn so I can see it.
Yeah.
I'm really into insertion porn.
Human pussy.
That moment.
Pussy. Christ. I am.
Trauma says, "Oh, please do go on, mate."
Jeez.
And yes, they orgasm.
Oh yeah,
there's no doubt.
My dick, my brain, we are aligned. We know.
Now, what about the deer community? How come nobody's servicing these deers?
Nobody asks animals whether they want to work for us, serve as foods for us in a restaurant or at home. Nobody.
Oh, you got to bring these psychos into it too. You got to bring these psychos into it. Be like, nobody asked their permission to do these other things that sustain the species. What do you think about that?
You know, they got to be. I mean, he's a passionate filmmaker. He's got to be holistic. He's got to bring in all these great points of view. You know, what was it? 27 some minutes into it, and still not sure like where he's driving at.
He's driving out. He's talking about fucking dumping hot loads.
He's talking about that hot bull action, that hot maregasm.
That poor lady's being cucked by a goddamn mare.
Mm-hmm.
She had to go down and watch.
No, while the golden retrievers, licking that up. So
probably at the same time, Paul.
It's. I bet you it gets pretty freaky. I bet you they got a D-Live channel
she gets
too.
that. She probably gets that all natural peanut butter that you got to stir up because the oil rises to the top.
Oh yeah.
And they don't go cheap.
Kind.
They don't go cheap. They don't go cheap.
Well, it's better for the dog.
Well, yeah, he's gonna enjoy it more. Yeah, of course.
You got to think about their coat and everything.
We know that mares come. There is no doubt. We must trust the science and go in hot fibroelastic. That was for profit. Yeah, Paul Bunyan's a rather regular Dr. Fauci. Prophet says Google fibroelastic.
Yeah.
I have a sense. I got a sense.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
I got a sense.
Anything. People just take animals for granted. But when it comes to having sex with animals, all of a sudden people start feeling very uncomfortable about this and say this is abuse.
Yeah.
But killing animals, that's okay because we eat them.
Like, yes. Oh, yes. Because killing an animal and eating it provides like a service. It's like, granted, like we said before, watching the vegan lady video, could we have a conversation about the mechanisms of this process? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. That's totally fair. But to draw a parallel as if these are the same fucking things, what planet do these psychopaths live on?
Not the same things, but just using that as the excuse for that. No, I am actually loving this animal, and you're the one that's torturous and being inhumane. Like it is insane. And it's just another one of these examples where people just denying reality, like what nature is. People want to deny nature and just contrive this notion that we can be what we haven't, but we can just decide on a whim, just identify against our millions of years of evolution, and we're just going to be whatever the fuck we want to be, and then it's just going to be a whole overnight we're going to overturn millions of years of evolution and just accept it.
Well, it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Like to even suggest the suggestion itself is reprehensible. I mean, it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? These are not the same they're not even on this. It's not even the same game.
No.
That's like why don't baseball players tackle each other? They tackle each other in football. Why don't they tackle each other? You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I feel like the only honest one in this whole thing was the guy gaming the system. That's it. That's the only backstory that I bought into.
Where he's just like, I'll get one up on
Paul
you,
Bunyan
ladies.
is just a brutal.
He's just a perv.
Brutal perv. Just a brutal perv. Like, it wouldn't have to be a bestiality. That guy could be a perv, top notch perv in anything. Dude, I bought into that guy's backstory. And at the end of the day, like I said, did he win? Who's winning here? You, Shaun, me, or that dude?
Well, I think we're winning. We're winning.
We're winning. We're winning
judgment.
in this Judeo-Christian traditional sense, right? Yeah, but who's really?
I've never felt
really
closer to Judge Judy than I do right now. Standing in judgment, be like, "Oh, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
No. Get to it. Get to the point."
Mm-hmm.
Hope everybody likes onions.
So, everybody else asks. I haven't heard What was your first experience?
Well, actually, it was kind of interesting. I was house sitting for somebody watching
This is going to be super interesting, I'm sure. Actually, it's a kind of a funny story.
their dog and their birds and their fish and stuff. I was maybe 10, 11 years old. I don't quite remember. So I went skinny dipping. And one day I bent over to test the water. You know how you do. Just bend over.
Yes,
and put your hand
it's
in the
nice
water.
to know how cold it is.
Yes, and well, their dog kind of snuck up behind me and stuck his nose between my legs. Needless to say, I was a little bit surprised, but I was like, that feels good. But then he decided he wanted a little more, so he jumped on.
Oh, here we
And
go.
at that
The
point,
dog,
I
the
learned what
animals
it was
decided.
to lose your virginity.
Yeah.
His-
Oh gosh.
The dog
Oh
took her
Christ.
virginity.
Oh Christ. Can we talk about your perverted uncle before that? Yeah, because there's totally a backstory on this one. Oh my God.
What are you talking about? It's just completely organic, natural
that just happened.
experience.
That just happened. You know, happy household, unbroken,
Yeah.
You know, stable life. And it just serendipitously, a dog's nose went up my vajayjay, and all of a sudden, I got hooked, just like that.
I was hooked on dog dick from that day on.
Just like that.
Tarabi says, Judge Judy, we need Judge Dredd for these people.
Dude, yes. I am drinking to that one. Yes, Judge Dredd.
scared me half to death. But then it kind of started feeling good, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But then again, the other scare that I had was, oh my God, I'm going to have puppies.
I think I was like 22 the first time that I had, allowed a dog to have sexual intercourse. So,
So this one has the power. This one, acknowledges
had-
power. She allowed the dog. She allowed the dog.
Very woke, very progressive.
Gotcha.
Very progressive.
Oh, there's one road in every party, right?
Had dog companions in between. I've always loved the feel of fur my whole life. And my dog was always there as a good friend, soaking up tears, whatever I was going through. And I don't know, I guess it was just one night. We were snuggling in bed and I was petting him and he just got very curious.
Oh, yeah.
And,
As they do.
I mean, there was more of an oral thing. And I mean, I became kind of curious about him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to begin with, it was more of just curiosity.
Yeah.
So you lost your virginity to a
Prophet's like, stop, feed her to the dog.
No, she just needs to keep packing on the beautiful, so her husband thinks she's a horse, and then her life will be
That's true.
solved,
That's true. That's true. Prophet's all
on fire.
This dog is on fire.
No, Prophet would think that pepper is too spicy.
human first.
To a human. I was like 15 or 16. 15.
I
It
was
was before I
21 when I lost my virginity to
It
a
was
human.
before I was 16 because, I guess I was more curious sexually and more interested.
My problem
than
was is
some.
most of
Who
my
isn't
boyfriends
at
weren't
16?
interested in it, and I
But,
never could figure out
with
why.
What's that?
I said, who isn't curious at 16? More curious at 16.
Well, hold on. Did you hear what that lady said?
No.
More of an oral thing. And I mean, I became kind of curious about him. So, I mean, to begin with, it was more of just curiosity.
So you lost your virginity to a human first.
To a human. I was like 15 or 16. 15.
I
It
was
before I
21 when I lost my virginity to
It
a
was
human.
before I was 16
21.
because, I guess I was more curious sexually and more interested.
My problem
than
was is
some.
most of my boyfriends weren't interested in it, and I never could figure out why.
Oh, we could assume a couple of things.
We could assume a few things.
We
you
could
know.
throw some things at the dartboard there.
Prophet says, imagine the smell of her gunt.
Ooh.
The gunt is furious. The gunt is large.
I'd imagine it smells like
prodigious.
a dog's breath.
It smells like dog cum.
Wet dog.
It smells like dog fart.
Or like what's the aftermath of an orgasm, right? It's probably
my
that.
God.
It's probably that.
It's very pungent. I like it a lot.
Ellie did eventually meet Ken, who shares her sexual preference.
Oh, we need to grab a couple handfuls of that smaller stuff.
Okay.
Oh, she came back.
I was technically a
Yeah,
virgin.
they're together. He's with that.
Oh, okay.
that
Okay,
chick.
okay.
Yeah. Jerome says your movie sucks. Would have been hard for that scene. That's a very online reference, Jeremy.
Until I was 29 years old. I was a zoophile up until then, and I just basically didn't have much interest in other members of my own species as far as a life bond or anything. But when I met Ellie here, we clicked. It was the one person that I felt within a week probably after I met her. We were meant to be together. Come sit over here.
Ken and Ellie met through a zoo friend on the internet. After a few weeks, they arranged their first date.
There it rears its ugly head again. We're watching this. They're getting together. The internet mistake.
Well, the first night that he came up to visit me, I took him down to the barn to introduce him to some of my horses and some of the other horses that I enjoyed at the barn. And I took him in and introduced him to my miniature stallion. And kind of, I don't know if it was subconscious, I was very nervous and kind of wanted to do the shock factor, as it were. My miniature stallion was dropped and masturbating. When his penis is dropped and he slaps it on his belly, they call that masturbation for stallions. And so one thing led to another.
Yeah, because the stallion knows when this chick comes down, like he's got to get his dick sucked. He was ready. He was ready. He was slapping that thing around.
She gonna blow this horse? Is that what she's gonna talk about?
I think that's the
she gonna blow this horse, man.
Trami says you're my zoo friends for reference.
And I couldn't resist, so I bent down and started sucking on him. And then he tried climbing on top of me. So the next thing I know, my pants are down and I'm bending over for him. And I'm like, excuse me, I can't resist. and
that's the first date.
That's their first date. This is his first date. I mean, hey, man, if you're going to go in, go hard, dude. Go hard.
You know what you're getting into day one.
There's no misconceptions about what this relationship is.
God.
I just blew this horse and then I let it fuck me in front of you. How do you feel about this?
Part of me said, okay, either he's for real and he won't mind this, or he's not for real and he's going to be totally freaked out by it and run.
He's just not for real.
Then he started beating off immediately, and I knew this is the one.
How many guys do you think she did this with?
Probably
this process.
Well, I'm going to say one other, because that's probably all she was able to rein in. But then again, I don't know. The internet is a strange and dark place full of terrors. So who knows? It could be one. It could have been 1,000. So I don't know, man. But I just you know how visual I am, Shaun.
I know.
I didn't grow up with the TV, Shaun. You know, I grew up in the woods,
chicks...
Shaun. And just like these visuals, man. And then he came out, and then I took it by myself. That his guy just got horse.
Yeah, take him down to the barn to show him some of the mares and the miniature stallions that I really like. Tarami says, watching Paul try to handle this mentally is almost the best part.
Obviously, he didn't run.
He didn't run.
No, actually, I was very tempted at the point to have sloppy seconds. It turned me on. It was so erotic to watch this.
He was tempted to have sloppy seconds. I love that he used the term too, the proper bro dude term. Of watching a chick get railed, just like being at a party and the chick's, she's lined up, bunch of dudes is like, man, let me get in there. Let me get in there.
What I said at the beginning, I was like, that guy, he's going to be promising. He's going to be.
Oh, you don't even wait. It hasn't even gotten crazy yet for that guy. Prof says these animals cost a lot to maintain. Where the fuck did these people get the funding? The farmland, the tractors, the fucking gall. Send fire.
If there's a will, there's a way. Well, now, thanks to the internet, they probably have a GoFundMe, or they probably have some type of
They have a Patreon now. They have a Patreon.
It's something. Well, dude, imagine that on the dark web.
And just the whole thing, and it didn't shock me at all. In fact, I was like, "This is pretty cool." I think I found somebody here that might be on my plane here, and
on the level.
It went from there, and we.
On the level.
Here we are, married.
Yeah.
Oh, they're married. Let me ask you a question. Do you think these two actually have sex at all? Are they straight animal fuckers? I mean, he did say he lost his virginity to a human, so I assume she is the person.
At age 21, right?
Well, she lost it before they met, obviously. But he had never. I don't think he had lost it before he met her. So they've at least done it once.
Yeah. I have nothing, man.
What say you?
I thought I was going to say something, but I have nothing, man.
Well, I have vaginal sex with my miniature stallion. He's not a whole lot larger than most humans. He is a bit bigger, but not uncomfortably.
Yeah, but is he like dog fart big? I mean, like,
I'm going to say it's probably dog fart big. We're talking some BBC here.
Is he black.com big?
Blackened. Get it right.
No, it's blacked. You got to get your point stuff straight.
We don't serve the same sites.
So,
oh, I'm sorry, Sid.
I like to suck on him orally, and he especially enjoys that.
I have anal sex with the miniature stallion. He penetrates me, and it's pleasurable, but it's not real intense. It's like I said, the pleasure that I get from it is more from knowing how much he enjoys having sex with me. He tends to.
This is fucking
okay. So
you're busting this dude's ass open.
Okay, so I was not. I should have you saw that coming. That's on me. Okay, I should have saw it coming. But that delivery, because this is this is a bro. This is tailgate. This is
guy,
beach bum. This is a dude. This is Bonnie Tyler, right? It just the way that just rolled off the tongue. It's just a.
Well,
I let it
craziest thing about
penetrate me.
Dude, that is the wildest thing about this documentary is how casual and open they are about this, right? Because you would think you would have some sort of self-awareness,
right?
Like the ability to feel shame about it or whatever. That's why some of these producers must have been very charming, very disarming for these people to expose themselves this way. Or maybe they were just like, fuck, it's on the BBC. Like, who's going to see it?
But then again, these people are pseudo performers, like what we saw from Paul Bunyan earlier, right? They want to see the proper people, right? So maybe they conveyed themselves to these people as proper, and now
it's part of the. It's like part of the fold, right?
How much do you want to bet that they're like, hey, do you guys you want to see me get penetrated by this miniature stallion?
Probably happened at least once. Like, do you guys need some B-roll footage of me getting fucked by the stallion?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it would go great when I was talking about the extreme pain that I feel being fucked in the ass by a horse. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
The horse is like, turn around every now and then.
I like to fuck a little ass, and then.
Oh my God.
Jeremy says, release the "Where Are They Now" follow-up doc for these people.
Right. And can we have like the old school VH1 pop-ups? Like, did you know that a miniature stallion's average electron length?
To tell me about it, he talks a lot. He grunts and wickers and blows in my ear, etc. And that is very erotic to me, more so than the physical sex.
When he's courting me, as it were, trying to entice me to bend down or kneel down. He does a lot of I call it a hubba hubba. He just kind of goes and makes this little hubba hubba noise to me. And then once he's in, I mean, for every stroke that
the
he
horse
does,
or Bonnie
he makes
Tyler,
a big grunting
I missed
noise.
that.
And then when he
the horse or Bonnie Tyler, I missed that. So is he?
She's talking about the horse.
Okay. So she's mimicking what the horse's signal is. So okay.
No, so she's suggesting that the horse courts her by giving signals out, maybe slapping his dick around, as we've learned. That's horse masturbation. And he gives a big grunting and hubba hubba with every stroke.
Every stroke.
I
just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I got that.
You want to understand. I understand. You want to know. You got to know. You got to know.
No. Well, I'm getting near the end of my bottle, Shaun, and I'm just, I'm not. I don't feel sharp as I did in the beginning, and I want to make sure I'm not missing any critical points here.
Tarami says these are a Jerry Springer retrospective, which includes the horse mayor, I think. Yeah, we gotta ask the mayor some questions. You know? We need like one of these animal psychics to come in and talk to these animals.
Yeah.
Orgasms, he makes an even bigger grunting noise.
And he tends to like to hold on.
Dude, imagine being fucking a horse blowing its fucking load inside of you. Dude, that's a massive load.
Yeah.
It's a horse. That's horse cum.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like watching a hentai and it's all dripping out of you.
Yeah, no, hentai is a great way to explain that, like what that could look like, right? Fuck. Well, we'll never know until Prophet sets up his Odyssey channel.
He can show us.
With his teeth, and I actually have some scars on my back from where he's bitten onto me, just hanging on.
But it was kink, though, right? It was kinky, though, right?
It's just kink.
You knew that was going to happen, right? Because you guys consented about it. You talked about it. Like, you knew it was going to happen. This is just the thing we do. This is the thing we do,
so
you know?
This horse fucking
fucking
this dude in the ass and biting him in the back to hold on.
Right.
Paul.
God damn it.
Paul.
I hate you, Shaun. No, I don't hate you, Shaun.
Tromby says, I hear Shaun is coming around to the idea.
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude. I don't want a horse come dripping from my orifices. Orifice eyes.
They do the same thing with mares when they have sex. And only mares have fur to hang on to. He tends to get a big chunk of skin with me. And that can be quite painful. But usually I don't even notice until after the fact because I'm so caught up in the moment. And then
because the pain from being fucked in the ass is so intense that I don't even notice the horse biting me in the back. I don't even know. It doesn't even register. It's like major pain when he goes and breaks the guy's finger.
Show you a little trick, get your mind off that pain. Give me your finger.
When I get up to the house, and Ellie says, "Oh, I see you've been down fooling around. You've got a big bite mark on your back again."
He's like, "You got me. You got me. You got
guilty."
And she's like, "Oh my god, could you spit some? Let me felch it out of your ass." She probably goes and sucks the horse cum out of his ass, dude.
Dude, I appreciate my first and last nightcap.
Paul will never come back.
I don't think I'll ever call you again after this.
He might be coming on some backs, but he's not going to be coming on Nightcap.
JRH NBR. Just the right height. No bucket is required. I have
also another great band name. Just the right height, no bucket required.
I
did my best not to
like. I did my best not to spit that out.
Look at this motherfucker, dude.
Oh my god.
Look how happy he is. A man
this is
in his
epitome
element.
of like.
This
is like my internal gift, my internal meme of like everything that I think is truly perverted, fucked up, or corrupt in the world. Like this is now my frame of reference of what that looks like. If I want to manifest like an idea that is like terrible and disgusting, so base at its core level, like this is what I'm going to be thinking of now.
Yeah,
intertwined with Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah. You're never going to hear
if I want to take that
heart.
idea and I want to manifest it in like a slightly less threatening manner, then I'm going to think of the other one.
It's an ass ache.
And to have a pony mare that is JRH and BR. And that's really nice because you're not trying to do a balancing act standing on something.
It's so funny. The guys start comparing about what they use to stand on,
or how
what
they
is more stable.
or how they discuss.
Truly hilarious, girls. What a row. They're like, yeah, dude, it's great when you can find a pony where you don't have to stand on a bucket because that's awkward. You know, can't get to business.
No.
As in their car.
Well, form I imagine is key.
Well,
form is always key, but
it's always key.
Placement though, because you can't. It's not obviously this is far from conventional, right? And you can't lay down. There's no horizontal hustle here, so you have to get a good balance. And what's also crazy too, like with that balance and like with this, like there's, I'd imagine an element of being fit would equate into this at some point. And none of these people seem like they have the stamina or the way. Well, except for Bonnie Tyler, because I mean, he made it clear he's He's like a power bottom. He's
he
just taking
receives.
it.
Yeah,
he's going to take it. He's going to take it in the hands, and he's going to take chunks of skin off his back. But I mean, everyone like to actually like thrust go in.
But that's like the you get around like farmers and stuff, right? Like they're all like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all like that.
Wait, they're all like.
What I'm saying is like they don't look like they would have like strength and stamina, but they're just like solid fucking people.
Yeah.
Right? Like they got the pot belly and the overalls. And I know I'm being a little broad and stereotypical.
Right.
But I've known many people that were like farmers.
No, just like where we grew up, like that.
Yeah,
farm
they'll
strength,
go out.
that's a real thing.
They'll work for 18 hours a day, like hard labor, and you'd be like,
no, you're right.
And I've had that experience with like pipeliners and stuff. You're like, how do these people even function?
Right.
But
they do. They do.
Prophet says, name 5 historical leaders who would have never let this happen. I'll wait.
GW1.
Bill Clinton would have been all about this.
Tyson Chicken Farms, man.
George W. Bush didn't ride on any goddamn Epstein plane. I can tell you that much. Yeah, sure. He bombed the Middle East back into the Stone Age, but that's different.
It was a different time. It was a simpler time.
Or then you go to a strange barn and you start and you catch the guys checking the bottoms of the feed buckets for footprints.
To me, I feel there are a lot more.
That's how paranoid they are. We got to check the feed buckets. Has somebody been trying to fuck a horse?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, we got to look.
Women who are with their dogs that men have no idea.
So crazy.
I'm sure there are probably people who would say, well, boy, you're going to hell because of how you are. But I'll tell you, if there's a hereafter, just let me muck the stalls and care for them.
If one exists, they're probably going to give you dads for the horses you found.
This guy is so into it that he's like, his heaven is just mucking horse stalls so he can be around hot horse ass.
Hot action, man. Hot
action. Hot fuck action to the max, Jack.
To the max. All day. For eternity.
Kisses.
Watch out. Watch out. This man cannot be trusted. Get away. Oh, you're going to try to tell me this is not consent?
No. Look how the horse's bottom lip is just tucked back in. You could tell that he's just
Yeah, you don't want it.
Not feeling it. Not feeling it. You can tell.
He's just trying to placate.
He's like, hey, stop trying to show off, okay? We know this doesn't happen in daylight. We know it's in the wee hours of the morning when you come in there on those buckets, evidently, right? And stop the show, right?
Well,
because as they said in the beginning, horses don't need that foreplay. They want to get straight to the business. So you can see by the bottom lip curling in, he's saying, "Cut the shit, cut the shit. Don't make this into a thing. Don't make this into a thing. You're so emotional about this. I can't fucking stand it. You get some cameras out and you turn into a fucking prima donna.
Fuck me and fucking move on.
You know when and where this is going to happen. Why are you doing this? Why?
Listen, I'm a hoe. Let me be a hoe. Let me be a hoe. Just let me be it.
It just
why does it
there's something about places, and knowing it, right? And knowing yours, and let's just cut the shit.
These Paul Bunyan types, man. They just like they're trying to have a deeper experience, and the horse is just like no.
You do that shit 101. You do all that word mumbo jumbo to the camera over there, but here, this right now in the now, you know what this is. Cut it out. And I got that all from the under lip, and I'm sorry. I'm just realizing what's happening.
Prophet says this is like a fucking Kids in the Hall skit. It actually kind of is. Like this would be it would be a Kids in the Hall skit. Like
definitely.
Yeah. Look at he's in ecstasy, dude. He can't even contain himself.
No.
Oh, Maverick's in the house. What are you doing up so late, Maverick? Or up early? Nelson Mandela, Alexander the Great, Pol Pot, Queen and Charlemagne.
That's a response to Prophet. Yeah. Bravo.
I'm not ashamed of who and what I am. There's no shame involved, and it's taken me many years to learn to deal with that.
No shame.
Zoophiles who have accepted their sexuality and can share it with their partners are the lucky few. For most, discovery leads to disaster. Sarah now lives alone with her dogs.
My husband and I were married for almost 10 years, and we had a pretty happy marriage. We both worked. We owned a home. We had 2 cars. We had 2 dogs. We were a happy couple.
Until
this is like once I saw this is all I can think about when I see like couples that are like really into their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
This is all I see. This is all I see.
So I think
Maverick says, "Evening, boys. What's up, buddy?"
Evening, buddy.
Trummy says, "Took him many years to rationalize this depravity." It did.
There's a lot of mental gymnastics in that, for sure. For sure. Unless if you're like the first dude, and like, I gained the system. So succinct. So pure. So direct. Just,
He's like, I won. I beat him.
I wish I could tackle life the way that guy tackles his pony.
Pixel.
It's a pixel.
I didn't really become aware of zoophilia until much later in my life.
She's like, I was already having sex with dogs before I even knew what it was called.
When Miles and I moved into my room together, it became a little more intimate.
Prophet asked, "Is Maverick Generation Y?" Yes, he is. Go subscribe and like.
People here. We doxing people here. Oh my god!
He actually did a real content thing earlier today where he interviewed a guy that got fired from a UK university for being against wokeism. So that's on his channel right now. Go check it out.
I think the first time that I actually decided to take my clothes off and feel his fur next to my bare skin was.
Love how they're showing a dog behind a steamy window.
That was one of
like the suggestion. It's like
we her talking about recanting the story is not enough. Like we want to show this little added thing here.
Well, especially because this is 2004.
Yeah.
So like Titanic had come out. Remember, the scene of Titanic, right?
Yeah.
So we have that like visual identifier, that cue.
Yeah.
What does the steamy window mean?
Oh, you know what that
means. You fucking dude.
That means that hot bull action. Hot bull action.
The first things that I did was I just stripped and
alpha male indeed.
Ooh.
Alpha male.
Well, just alpha now because we got to be inclusive of all species.
Oh, that's true. Just straight alpha. My apologies.
To the max.
And laid down on my bed, and my dog come up, and the 2 of us just laid down and took a nap together. He gave me a lick on my nose, and it was just like a regular relationship.
Just like heaven.
Just feeling the comfort of his warm body next to mine, and
once again, the animal initiated the sequence.
So was bizarre. Wrong with that.
How bizarre! How bizarre! How bizarre!
Who am I to deny the gravity of what's going on?
With this, they obviously wanted it.
Obviously, they were asking for it. They initiated it, Paul. If they didn't want it, they wouldn't have come up to you.
Exactly, they wouldn't look at me like that.
Why are you trying to Me Too this lady?
Well,
what are you doing?
I got nothing.
It always felt really natural to me.
Oh my God.
Sarah was 36 when her husband first began to suspect her relationship with Miles, the family dog. He decided to have Miles castrated.
Oh, snap. That's cold.
Well,
dog.
I would say
that's cold.
He's like, hey, Miles, you fuck my wife.
You fuck my wife, Miles?
I'm going to fucking castrate you, buddy. A neutered to the max.
The act of castrating Miles was one of the nails in the coffin, but the threat to have him euthanized if he found out I was having anything to do with him that way was absolutely the last nail in the coffin of my marriage.
Well, what do you think is next? You take away one thing, and then Miles still has a mouth there, buddy. Like, what did you think that was just going to stop? Do you think that was going to stop this person that you married, that you think that you loved? And I love how it stops with another train coming. What do you think it is with the use of the train frame?
I was going to ask you, what do you think is the thematic significance of the trains?
Well, I'm struggling to remember the last time they brought in the train, but like in this particular sense, right? We're coming to a clash of reality with the husband finding out and taking a step to change it. And
Yeah,
then
it's like
now she's going to come up with her stance. Oh, sorry, she's going to come up with her stance of why she's going to pursue to live her truth or her life, right, with this totally consensual freaking relationship. So
I think for me it signifies inevitability. That's what trains usually signify, because they're on a track. You can't stop them. They keep just going. So it's inevitability. It's like, oh, well, this was the inevitable outcome, is that like I'm going to have a relationship with my pony. I'm going to fuck these dogs. I'm going to do whatever. Like that seems like whenever they kind of interject the trains, it's always juxtaposed with like something happening in their lives where they have to like make a choice.
I see. Yeah, or it could be like, a train wreck. It's coming and you can't look away. You can't look away.
That's true as well. Maverick says base. The dog's running a train on his wife.
Well,
oh yeah, deeper meaning. Trami says, oh, or there's a fucking train wreck incoming. There you go.
Hey, buddy.
Like minds.
When family and friends gather around, you want to be sure to have everyone's favorite cracker on
Get that peanut butter. You gotta get that peanut butter. You know what I mean?
And that's going to be $5.61 now. I would have to say, in my life, looking back at all the relationship I've had with humans, that it's been really frustrating and it's been really hard.
Yeah, because you have to like develop a camaraderie. You have to develop like emotions. You have to talk to people. Dogs, not so much. You just jerk them off enough, they just like jump into bed with you, apparently.
Condition them enough with treats, which ironically, men are the same way. So she done fucked up. She fucked up.
That's very true. If she had just been jerking off her husband and giving him sandwiches,
could have solved so many problems. So many
fucking problems. That's all I need is a blowjob and a pizza.
Like if he'd had a couple nuts busted during that week, he never would have had the energy or the ambition to take your dog to get him castrated. He wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have cared.
But you know what,
there
Karen?
you go.
I'm spent.
She got selfish. She got selfish and probably sloppy, because she didn't cover up her tracks. And then the horse, she's lucky, it was with a dog and not a horse person, because a horse person obviously would have found it earlier, like they said with the buckets.
He would have found the buckets. Trami says, Miss, excuse me, which peanut butter brand would you say adheres better? I'm sorry, what?
I like the use of adheres. I see what you did there.
That woman's mine. And it's not because
aren't you the lady that is married to a dog?
Hey, there she looked like anybody,
that's
everybody
cool,
else.
That's cool. Hey, listen, can I get my Camel 99s, please? Yeah, lights.
I lack
interpersonal
cashier lady
skills looks like everyone else.
I don't. I get along quite well in the world with people. But
Maverick,
as far
you dirty
as
dog.
really being able to extract any really great and tremendous personal happiness, it's been lacking. And I've found that when I'm sitting quietly at home and my dog is...
They're like, is she talking about me? Is she talking about me?
Me?
My ears are burning. My ears are burning.
Am I about to get that peanut butter? Peanut butter.
Oh, shit, Mary's home. Maybe she got crunchy.
Asleep, and I can put my hand on him and the two of us sit. That at that moment, I know such pure happiness and contentment. It can't be equaled and has never been equaled.
You have never felt such unconditional love.
Unconditional. Like it just enjoying that dog, enjoying their dog's body.
A lot of people.
I love it, like the slow pan down to this trailer. Yeah, me and Pixar are still fucking.
I was wondering if they're going to circle back to this guy. They would have to, right?
RD came over. He watched. He watched.
Going to think that this interest you have in horses is because you've failed with women.
Goddamn right.
Well, he couldn't have completely failed. He has 2 kids. So what the fuck happened?
We don't know if they're biological or not.
I'm pretty sure they are. Would your non-biological children be like, okay, Dad? I don't want to talk to you about
Maybe
it.
if they were if they were raised by him, we don't know. We don't know. You know why? Because that episode of Jerry Springer never released, so now we don't know.
That's true.
We don't know.
They pull up to the trailer. It's just all the animals walking bow-legged.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Would you love to take this guy on Maury, just see the genetic results? Obviously, because it's reality, it'd all be negative, but just to see his reaction, like, I'm not, like, every time, because that's how fucking delusional he is.
I would love it to be like an Island of Dr. Moreau situation where they just keep bringing out human hybrid children.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you are the father.
And
it's just like a pig person coming out like
abominations just coming out. Like an actual sheeple coming out.
Maverick says, leave it to the English to ask a completely soul-destroying question in a placid and robotic way. Yeah, yes, this is your people, Maverick. You guys did this. You thrusted this upon us.
It's the gift to us.
This is the darkness in our midst, and we had no idea. We were all living happy, productive lives, normal lives, not degenerate lives.
Ignorance is bliss.
On the BBC decides to come. He's like, hey, look what's going on in Missouri.
Yeah, yeah. And thanks to you people, I know BBC means another thing, so whatever. Just when you think you know something.
Jared Moby says, release the Springer cut.
Yes, yes. Let's start a hashtag campaign, Jeremy. Let's do it.
That it's an emotional cop-out.
Zoophilia, in my case,
it's pretty fucking cool.
Is an emotional cop-out in a way, in several ways. I have to be honest about it.
Did he say emotional cop-out?
Yeah, they asked him if this was an emotional cop-out, and he's like, yeah, kind of.
I'd much rather deal with a horse than deal with complications of a human emotional relationship.
Yeah, because this is all about just hedonism. It's about just pleasure. He's like, I don't want to be bothered with the aspects that come with a relationship. I don't want to deal with having to manage a girlfriend or a wife or whatever. He's just like, nah, man, I'd like to just give her some apples and just get straight to fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn it, Shrek.
As one does.
God damn it, Shrek. What are you doing?
Every time I've gone the human emotional route, it's been a train wreck. There've been the mind games come on, and pretty soon you're not having an emotional relationship anymore. You're having some kind of freaking contest. And I got tired of that. I didn't need that in my life anymore.
He's like, that's just a bunch of bullshit. Trauma says, I looked in all the places I know, but was unable to find that Springer episode. It has been aired because there are clips of it being cammed on a TV. Those cam clips might be from this documentary. Because there are two documentaries. I think the original one heavily features this guy, but I think they reused a lot of footage for this one. So it's probably from this documentary, the cam footage.
Look at that briefcase there on the counter. On the side it says
it's like
slides.
Yeah, it's like Pulp Fiction. Except he opens it up, it's gold, but it's just full of fucking horse cum. He slurps it all up.
$100,000 an ounce.
Precious stuff.
The purest.
Hey, I get the purest horse
from the Arabian Prince. From the Arabian Prince, $1,000 an ounce.
Paul Bunyan comes up. He's like, whoa, what you got there? I'll pay whatever you want.
What's the market value? Wait, I don't care. Here's the check. Give me what I want.
You know what it should say Marigasm on the side of that, by the way.
Marigasm be fucking Mary guaranteed. $1,000 an ounce. Let me tell you.
Trami says, which wallet is yours? It's one that says bad pussy fucker. Excellent, Trami. Excellent joke. I'm jealous. I should have got there.
Mark did try to suppress his desire for animals. He married and had 2 children. But his attempt to live without horses was to end in tragic failure.
He looks like the guy from fucking Super Troopers.
Yeah, yeah. Want a liter of cola? Can I get a liter of cola?
Farver, is that the guy?
Farvra. Also, funny, from Vermont. I've seen a theme here.
There you go.
That's what I wanted. Like
I love
kids.
the free, like
Every
the
birthday.
ominous-
Oh, we'll get the pony show.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh no, no, no. Oh no. Don't worry, darling. We're getting the pony. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I know.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
Despite having a wife and children, Mark's attraction to horses still haunted him, and eventually his marriage broke up.
She took off, went to another state, got a job in another state, took the kids with her. I sat down with my prescription drugs and some needles and started to slowly kill myself.
Mark rented a motel room. He had decided to kill himself if he could not come to terms with his desires.
Well, he obviously did come to terms with his desires.
Yep.
A dark night of the soul, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the horse races.
Yeah. The honest of places, you know, he goes to find a nice, calm, peaceful place to get channel his inner zen, come to terms with reality and what he needs to do moving forward. And as you can see from this nice establishment, you know, he made the right choice for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said earlier, who's really winning? Who's winning? Is it you? Is it me? Or is it that guy?
Guy's got it all.
Is it that guy?
Out.
That game the
figured
system? That game the system.
Kings in our midst.
You think you're better than me because you're on a different system. I'm on the system that works for me. So, you know what?
Oh, you guys kept playing checkers. Now I'm playing chess, bitch.
3D chess, underwater, upside down, all that crazy bullshit. But you know what? Man.
And then he's just like Trump 2024.
Oh, shit, dude. It is officially January 6th.
Oh shit. Happy anniversary.
He wrote about that night in his book, The Horseman.
Oh, you read a book.
Oh, shit. Dude, you
Books-
already
two
know.
books goes to the library.
You already
We
know.
gotta
You
find
already
it.
know. We got to find that book, fucker. We got to find that book.
He made me like this. Where I'm just a sick pervert.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the first, well, maybe I can change, or if I can't change, maybe I can learn to live with it. To live with myself. Without so much guilt. If there's no reason, if I'm merely a piece of twisted subhuman scum, then
This is, you can't see it because of how close the camera is, but he's actually at Borders. It's actually a Borders bookstore right now. This is his reading.
in the world, my parents and my children would be better off without me around them.
So sad.
After that night, Mark realized that his emotional happiness lay with horses. He went to visit a horse trader.
Oh, okay.
What do you think I'll give for that little bay horse there?
About 350.
440.
About 350. Yeah, about 350. About 350.
350 some. We have a 350.
Hard to come by. You can't hardly find a pony. They're all gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
This poor old fuck, he's just happy to have a friend. He's just happy to have somebody stop by. He's like, okay, yeah, bring on the horse fucker, whatever. I just need somebody to talk to, honestly. Talk horse prices.
I need that proper audience member.
Yeah, because he would know. Mark would know because he can value the horse on multiple levels.
We see Mark in this case though. He doesn't need the bucket like Paul Bunyan does. So
yeah, Mark.
But I'm sure he still shares that element of a proper audience. So.
Oh yeah.
So high.
Yeah.
He bought his first horse here, a young pony mare.
Cherry. Wild Honey Cherry. She saved my life. That little pony saved my life. I would have been dead in another 2 months.
Mark lived with Cherry for 1.5 years.
One night, we'd just finished making love, and I was sitting down on the edge of her feed bunker by her head. She kind of nibbling and nuzzling on me, and I was scratching her.
Shaun.
And I looked at her.
What?
It's just fucking A, man.
It's too erotic for you.
It's just, man. You know, I started off so repulsed and so disgusted, but now, you know.
But now, 3 hours in,
Yeah.
it's just the way it is.
It's
People are
just,
different.
you know, the lines are no longer blurred. I think it happened. It only took 300, minutes. Keep going. I just want to see that eye twitch again. Relive that moment, you know?
Yeah, when he's just like
relive
reliving the
that
moment. Yeah.
But it's just how full of shit is just, just the love, nuzzling on me. It's just the language they use that just facilitate this reality that they're this fake reality we're living in. It's just I've been watching it for like over an hour now, and it's still hitting me like what is happening? Why are you like this? It's so sad. It's so sad.
No, it's sad. I mean, like some people are more sad than others. Like the Paul Bunyan guy, you're like, oh, you're just like
that Paul Bunyan guy,
freaky perv, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I would say even like the fucking Bonnie Tyler and his girlfriend, like they're also you're just like
those people. You want an accident to happen where the horse kicks him in the head, has this jerk reaction, and kicks him in the head and right?
Yeah.
This guy, you're like, get help. Reconvene with your kids, man. Like you want to root for this guy. You want to see, because it is an everyday guy. It is a guy. You know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that sleaziness. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, come on. He's talking
wrong.
Chat rooms about Marmaduke.
Don't get me wrong. He has that, but I'm telling you right now, the Gardo film from the fields and like damn near half a bottle of like whatever the fuck this like cheap Christmas present was. Like, I'm telling you, like I feel for this guy. Feel for this guy, probably because we're probably more drawn to his backstory than everyone else. That's probably that.
He's the bulk of the documentary, so we've spent more time with him.
Right, yeah, but just get it together, man. He's probably dead by now. But
I think he is dead actually. Travis says I can picture him going between the ponies and determining which will be the right height. Maverick says, I wonder where this guy is now. I think this guy is dead. I actually think he's dead, if I'm not mistaken. Prophet says that pony saved my life. Without her, I wouldn't have lasted another 2 months. You know what? Fuck that pony. Fuck her. I need a 15 cubic foot freezer right fucking now.
And all my previous resolve about keeping sex separate, keeping animal sex as just a separate relief. When I realized then I couldn't deny it anymore. I loved her. I was in love with her.
Just like with the steam scene earlier, like do they need to like cut over it? Like when they are like passionately talking about these animals in a romantic way, like do we need that illustration there? Like,
yeah,
that's like whoever like edited this too just had way more fun than they should have had. Like,
I think so. Because it does come off a little tongue in cheek, right? Like it does at times because you're like, what is this music? Like why are we cutting through this footage? Like,
what is happening?
But how could you help if this was your assignment, right? Like you just work for a network and they come to you with all this footage and this is your assignment. Like, yeah, we're making a fucking bestiality documentary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're just like, and then you have to kind of be like, oh, okay, this is my job.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help myself. This would be way more fucked up if I made it.
Yeah.
Way more fucked up.
Yeah, it would, Shaun. It would. I agree.
Tears started trickling down my cheeks, and I reached over and just laid my hand on her nose and said, "Cherry, I love you. I'm in love with you."
I wish that Neil Diamond song would just bust in.
Right, just coming in.
Yeah.
A guy that has been married, a guy that brought 2 children into this world. A guy that you would like to think by all conventional standards has a grasp or a traditional baseline of understanding of what love is now taking that same understanding definition that you and I both know of what love is and relaying it to a horse named Cherry.
Well, because he explained it, right? Because he said he doesn't want the human complications. He does not want the effort of like trying to navigate a relationship with another human being. Because a horse, like we've talked about as this has gone on, animals, it's like all primal. It's not, they're not like actually bonding with you in the way that you think that they are. It's all learned behavior. It's like a type of
Perverted
grooming.
projection.
Gaming Dragon says, "Ooh, what's this?" Oh,
We're talking
you
about
gotta
hot
scrub
bull
back,
action.
buddy. It's too
hot
long.
bull action.
Trami says, "The end of us."
I love you, Cherry.
Cherry
And I just
cola.
felt so happy, so extraordinarily happy. So, like I cast off chains that I'd worn for years and didn't even know were there. One night,
they're such assholes.
One night we had. I told her I loved her. The next day she got sick, and she died.
Heyo, that looks like a serial killer standing next to a horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's get that
Sure
vibe.
does. Sure does.
Oh, that's me and Cherry. Who's that, Mark? Oh, it's Cherry. Artist rendition. My friend RD drew it. He's a trucker. He's got a cool dog named Marmaduke. He's also an artist.
Mark is suffering from hepatitis C.
Oh, no
He
shit.
caught the disease from an infected tattoo needle and needs kidney dialysis 3 times a week.
A friend of
She's
mine,
my cherry
Barbara,
pie.
she's quite an artist. And
Give me like cream pies.
she designed this tattoo for me.
Oh,
The
like
ideal
Minotaur.
relationship with Pixel. I'd like to be able to communicate in more detail with her.
On his tummy.
Yeah.
On his stomach. So he has like a Minotaur woman with a heaving
What's
breasts.
he going to do, Sean? Get it on his back? Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up, man.
You never
Yeah,
get to see it. You're right.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, he's just cranking, he's pulling his pud, looking at his stomach. And you know, and while he's pulling his pud, his stomach's going like this. And it's like it's
That's
moving.
like that trotting. Get that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
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 It's happening.
Hot stuff.
Fat man. That fat ass cheeks clapping. Make it clap. Make your hands clap.
Shit, I'll make that tail clap, girl.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Make that tail clap, man.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Where else would you put it, Sean? That's where it goes. That's where it goes.
Gaming Dragon says that's a sick tattoo, actually.
Dude, I'm not even going to lie, man. I'd probably get up there on the neck though.
He's got some good friends. Yeah, right there on the neck. So everybody knows.
Yeah,
Just
it's
gotta
right
show
there,
everybody.
everyone knows. But still, take in mind, this was late 2000, late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, then you got to jerk off in front of a mirror, though. Like you said, like you wouldn't want it on your back. You got to have it somewhere. You could throw it on your forearm, maybe on your leg.
Well, I suppose, but even in that current location, you would still need a mirror to see that. That's what I'm saying. It's all about self-love because they're doing it for themselves. So what angle are they looking at? If they want an audience, or if the audience is themselves the best audience, the most important audience, they're going to have a mirror there.
Oh,
So
these people are into mirrors. You
I
know
would
they
have.
are.
I would do the neck because if I was in that, I'd be in that state I just described, and then that way, if I was in a public restroom, your restroom, if I came to visit you, I'd go there and boom, it's right. It's right there. I don't have to do this whole production, pull my shirt up, like it's right there. Accessibility. You got to be smart about these things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I give them a pass though because of the times. Neck tattoos weren't as like
they weren't
acceptable.
as in. Yeah,
They weren't as in.
This is right before the tramp stamp. So.
Oh, this is getting right in the tramp stamp area.
Yeah.
Error.
Deep down, way down, I'd love to have children with her.
And fuck them too.
She's, I don't know.
Because there's no end to it. There's no end to
a
it.
human child out of her, a half human child, or a regular foal out of her.
What the fuck? Like Just mental illness.
There's no end. There's no end to it. There's no end to it. Nothing will ever be fulfilled. This desire, this thing, it will never be. It creeps. It creeps into other things. It creeps into other things. It will never.
Maverick says, I can't help but look at my cat slightly differently now. And the Gaming Dragon says, this guy is what they used to call a clopper. A clopper.
Things to Google. Fuck, I gotta love Googling.
That's not the issue, and of course, it's not going to happen. That's pure blue sky fantasy. But she means that much to me that if I could, I would.
He's like, I'm not crazy. I know I can't actually do it, but sometimes I dream about it. It's in my dreams.
Yeah.
Sometimes I dream about having a Minotaur child with Pixel. Come here, son.
Absolutely.
These assholes, man.
Dude, it's really
I want to find the people who made it, who cut and edited this, and just like get them a drink. Like, you caused me a very uncomfortable and painful thing. What did Tarami say? I can't.
Tarami says sexual gratification or erotica involving ponies, specifically ponies seen in My Little Pony. Friendship is magic.
Magical.
Tarami says I had to look it up too. Oh, so that's what clopper means. Is My Little Pony fetishes.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Thank you, Tarami, because I didn't know either. I had no idea what Gaming Dragon was talking about. I was like, I'm gonna let it lie. I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, but now we do.
Oh yeah, Jeremy comes in as well. Cloppers were a thing in the brony community, according to my, I'm gonna assume, research.
Fuck. Now there's something called a brony community.
Reaction to zoophiles.
Oh, he says according to his younger brother. Dude, save your younger brother.
Save him.
Take him to church or something. At least the Bible will tell you not to fuck animals.
Yeah, we know that for a fact. Leviticus, don't fuck that cow.
Deuteronomy.
And Leviticus. Don't fuck that beast.
Several times. Several places in the Bible.
No, but the people that edited this, man, they obviously had a lot of fun with it, dude. And like it's
yeah, like how could you not? How could you not?
It kind of makes it really. It kind of makes it really. So.
Maverick says, I heard Jeremy from the Quartering is an ex-clopper. He's a guy that looks like the type. So when I watch things like this, like these animal passions documentary, and I see people like Jeremy from the Quartering that are into animals as much as he is, he's very into his German Shepherds. They're like, what is going on? And then I hear the music from this documentary that, oh yeah.
For most of us, just the thought of sex with animals is revolting.
But not to these people.
Yeah. Let's hear this whopping conclusion.
But while making these films, I found that we appear to fear and loathe zoophiles more than others we define as sexually deviant.
Wait, what?
I don't know if it's fear.
Wait, what?
I don't think fear is a part of it. Hold on, let's go back a second.
Yeah.
I don't think fear is a part of it.
Did he say fear?
I think he said fear and loathing.
Oh,
I don't need to see Mark again.
Absolutely.
Our reaction to zoophiles is not surprising. For most of us, just the thought of sex with animals is revolting.
But if you hear this ancient Native American flute music
on top of a horse breathing and exhaling heavily,
yeah, goes down a little bit easier. I think animals are spiritual creatures first.
Oh, yes, they are.
I think they should enjoy their bodies.
They asked for it.
But while making these films, I found that we appear to fear and loathe zoophiles.
Who is afraid of a zoophile? Who's afraid?
Is Maverick still on? Can you translate that for us, man? Is he saying fear? I can't understand what he's saying.
What is he saying? Mate, he's
Tell
saying
me,
fear, isn't it?
Tell me. This bloke over here saying I'm fearing a horse fucker. No.
Well, yeah, it's like we're not. It's not fear.
No,
it's just it's a natural repulsion because you're just like, well, this is not. I
think definitely closer to loathe than to fear, but like, ugh.
Well, it's like kind of that thing where there's like, oh, you're transphobic. It's like, no, I'm not. Like,
no, I'm not.
You're not afraid of people.
I just don't agree.
Yeah,
with fucking horses. cats, dogs, pigs, sheep, every animal that we covered so
Listen,
far
you better
tonight.
name them all, because if you don't name them all, they'll find
Then
you.
I'm
and
not
they'll be like,
inclusive. If I don't name them all, then I'm, not inclusive of all of the.
somebody's gonna come up to your house with a yak.
Just think of the
Fuck
vegan
it.
lady from earlier. She'll come. She'll find me. She'll find me.
Oh, she will. You're marked.
Mhm.
Now you're marked forever.
To make another like freaking chest tattoo, but I can't. I got another one.
Trami says that doesn't surprise me a bit, Mav. As relative to Jeremy from the Quartering being a clopper, Jeremobi also says, "I believe it. I believe that guy's he's a clopper."
More than others we define as sexually deviant. Could it be that we feel so strongly, not just because of the sexual element, but because zoophiles cross boundaries, upsetting the nature of our relationship to animals? Whether
Yeah, that's what it is, guy. It's they cross boundaries. They're trailblazers.
Yeah,
It just bothers us. They're doing something that's outside of the norm.
we keep them for pets or meat.
It's not a disease. You're not neurotic. You're not psychotic. It's a different lifestyle. It's a difference. It's
So we haven't heard from this guy at all. He's just a
Mm-mm.
campfire dude.
No, they're going to bring him in here at the end of it. Terrified these
Listen,
dudes
man,
only fuck horses.
I got lots of friends, man. I got lots of friends that are into this stuff. Prophet says, I'm terrified these dudes only fuck horses. What, my goats are chopped liver?
No, they're not chopped liver, Prophet. They're for you to treat them like the queens and kings they are in the beautiful state up north.
Trami says, pioneers like Nambla.
Dude, fuck. That's good, but
Oh, you remember? You watched the one when I watched the Chicken Hawk one. You saw that one.
Nambla.
That's an old joke. That's an old joke.
Throwback,
from when we were
baby.
kids. Yeah, Maverick says 101% true story. Wow. Okay. Yeah, but you saw the Chicken Hawk one I did, right?
Yeah.
About the pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the rhetoric is the same.
It
Like
is the
a lot of the
same.
way they phrase things, the way they or frame things rather, like the way they present their case is very similar. A lot of times it's an appeal to the past.
Well, and so is the victim in this case as well, right? Children can't give consent. These animals obviously can't give consent. And these people go through all these mental gymnastics to make it okay, to try to rationalize it. And not only just for themselves so they can live with themselves, but upon society and try to make it part of larger movements or communities.
Yeah,
it's insane.
they do.
It is insane.
And like, and now we live in a time where people are like starting to question whether or not you're allowed to suggest that somebody that has a predilection might be unhealthy, might be a bad thing, might be a part of mental illness.
Mhm.
That's why like the MAP community, the minor attracted person, to try to like reframe this thing. And like my whole position is like, yeah, do people that have these feelings like need help? Should they be able to like actually like go find help? Yeah, I would hope that they would, but let's not normalize it. You got to keep the stigma. Stigma sometimes is important.
Right.
Having a stigma like that is important because that might be the only thing that deters a person from abusing a child.
Right.
And it's fucking crazy.
Mhm.
Trump says, I've watched that episode after the fact. And then Prophet says, I still remember the Nambla chant, deep cut. Yeah, that's like from when we were like 15 or 16. Nambla. Because I think it's when we found out about Nambla.
Yeah.
We thought it was hilarious.
Mhm.
North American Man-Boy Love Association. If anybody's really curious, I watched a documentary called Chicken Hawk about these guys. And you can go check that out in the Zubok archives. Yeah. Old Nightcap.
It's not disease. It's just different. It's like being gay
The gay
or
lifestyle.
bisexual.
Yeah,
You
it's like
see, there you go.
There you
Scope
go.
creeping into other communities.
He's like, no, man, it's fucking just like being gay.
No,
Like,
no,
no, it's not.
no,
Not really,
it's not.
dude.
It's not.
It's different.
We would never expect anybody else or want anybody else to become this. Because if you're not, then it is not your lifestyle.
To ask a zoophile not to feel the way they
Who divined this setup, by the way? Like the campfire. And they got all these people together to sit around a campfire. And so these people could talk about this shit. Like, Well done, producers. Like, 'cause this is
Oh, yeah, no, they did great work extracting what they wanted to extract out for this like short, compact, mockumentary of disgustingness.
It's kind of like a Best in Show. It's like a Christopher Guest movie, but like it's real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like the darkest Christopher Guest movie ever made, but it's real.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the director of this had pure intentions. I don't think he just wanted to tell a story here.
I don't know. I can't tell. I think it's pretty ambiguous because it's like the documentary itself. I think you could read in the subtext that like it's being judgmental, but on its face, it's trying to present.
I don't think there is a single judgmental thing at all through this. But then again,
they might the weird music choices, like
they might turn it around in this 2 minutes and 27 seconds left.
No, I don't think so.
No, Shaun, I think it's hilarious. I think they had fun, but I also think it might have been like a product of the times.
Yeah, that's true.
Try to be deep though. I think we're having a go at it. We're laughing at it, but I don't think it's. I don't think it was at the time it was made. I don't believe that it's almost like.
Oh, because it
was like really making it intimate. I thought.
Because it becomes a time where people are like very high-minded, and they're like, intellectually, isn't this interesting that these these peoples that exist?
I think it was very literal. I think it was very literal on purpose. Like we're talking about the subject. Let me cut to a scene of showing these zoom ins and zoom outs of a horse as we're talking about romance.
Well, sometimes there's like horror music though.
Well,
there is a sense of self-awareness, I think, on the creator's part, because anybody that's going to watch this as just an average person would be like, oh, this is fucking weird. And it's almost like in the editing and the way they put it together, it acknowledges how strange it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, like you said, I agree with you. I don't think it's like meant to be judgmental, but it's meant to subconsciously kind of put you at ease because they're like, yeah, this is weird.
No, because they didn't have any opposition. Like they showed like the weird preacher guy for like a hot 30 seconds.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They had one doctor. We don't know what type of doctor he was, but he wrote a book about the unconventional love of dogs or something like that. Like 2 hours ago, we got to that part, right? But he pushed back on the notion a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And that was
there's been no robust argument for the other side, right? Like there is no people that are whether they're sex therapists or psychologists being like, yeah, this is aberrant. This is like a mental illness. No, because I think it is in a weird way, in an abstract way, trying to launder this idea into the public consciousness of being a thing that's just like, well, this is just what some people do.
No, it's pushing,
and they're not hurting anybody.
I think there was I think it was less than pure intentions, like pushing this out. We're coming there because now we're ending it, right? We're ending it, nearing to the end of it, the way it started. Intimate setting around a campfire. What does that invoke out of you? Comfort, joy. Anyone that's been around a freaking campfire.
In the association. And I think even like the music, like we kind of laughed about like the Native American whistling and stuff because it's meant to like invoke history and folklore and all of these things that they referenced. Even when we watched that vegan video, the first video we watched, they appeal to the past.
Yeah.
So it kind of tries to evoke that same feeling where you're like, oh, this is like something ancient and spiritual, like vaguely, even though it doesn't say it, it seems to imply that.
Right.
Like there's a deeper connection about some of this stuff, Very dark stuff.
We do about animals is akin to asking a person of a certain ethnic origin or color or gender not to be in who and what they are.
Oh my God.
During the time I spent with Mark,
fucking wild,
I came to realize his relationships with Cherry and Pixel were not just about sex. However strange it may seem to us.
So this is where it stops becoming a documentary, right?
It's like a form. It's like a form of activism.
Mm-hmm.
It takes on that form of act because it gives these people a platform to suggest that there is something more to it than just like hedonism, like pleasure. There's something more to it. The time I spent with Mark really showed me something. Like I really learned something. Maybe it seems strange to you, but
yeah,
these are perfectly legitimate relationships.
No.
It's like
if you want to reciprocate unconditional love an animal gives you, it's by not fucking it. I'm sorry. You don't fuck the animal.
Yeah, but have you seen Pixel, buddy? Have you seen Pixel?
Well, not have you seen Pixel? Have you combed and brushed Pixel? Have you gotten in that tub with that hot water and mane and tail?
Have you sniffed its pussy?
Get right in there.
Have you actually got in there and seen what it's like?
Have you got up in there? Have you stepped on that bucket, Shaun? Have you stepped up on that bucket? No.
And get up in them guts? Have you done that? Then who are you to judge?
Who are you to judge?
Who are you to judge?
Leviticus,
Schmiticus.
Schmiticus.
They were genuine love affairs.
Genuine love affairs. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. Genuine love affairs. All right, you spend 5 years following these fucking people. You do a follow up on this, right? And that's your takeaway. Yeah. No, they totally have some like B-roll. So they totally.
No, but that's like, but that is so often with so much of the stuff, and like you find it in. You find it on mainstream television. You find it on these things like TLC would be something where something like this would play, right?
Right.
Like our American equivalent of like what this is doing, where they're just like, where it's just the worst
of the worst.
Worst of the worst, and it just tries to say like, well, this is legitimate. It's funny, like it came back into my life. Like my wife and I used to watch as a goof. We used to watch Sister Wives. Which is about a Mormon polyamorous family.
Yeah.
And they completely mainstream and normalize the idea of those relationships. And you get to spend a ton of time with those people. And, against your better judgment, you're just like, oh, they're just like regular people. Like, who am I to say otherwise? And then you...
But no, I get that, like the condition of it, blah blah blah.
No, you are
the key thing in that though is
you are being conditioned to normalize weird things. I've always said this about TV. Like television is in its essence like a form of programming. Television shows you where they want you to go, and movies tell you where you are and have been. Like that's the way it works. Like if you think about any social trend. It's always on TV first. It's always in sitcoms and on procedural dramas and reality shows now. They tell you like, okay, what do we want you to accept as a culture? Like maybe not today, but like 10, 15 years from now, you'll get there because we're going to keep shoving it in your face.
We're an evolving focus group, just getting primed and groomed.
Yeah.
For the
So I stopped watching TV and I only watch movies because I only want to know what's happening now. Prophet said, when I said appeal to the past, I meant drinking raw milk and making our own clothes. What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
No, it's just it's interesting, but it's also very dark and pernicious. And I think people maybe just kind of blindly accept these things too openly because they're like, well, it's on TV. It's on TV.
Yeah.
Like it's on TV. Yeah. There's standards and practices. There's all these things that we take for granted or we assume that's content. But in reality, it's a good way to launder concepts. And you might like watch something like this and you're like, well, who am I to judge people that fuck animals? Who am I to judge? Look how normal they are. Look how
everyday people working the cash register, feeding the horses.
I mean, seriously, though, that's kind of what it was, right?
Providing the ponies for the birthday party. Everyday people.
Everyday folk. Everyday folks.
You know it.
Jerry and I used to
look at that gun,
walk
dude.
The street quite a bit.
It's got a 380, 380 Beretta there.
Yeah,
on the
that's what he does.
Dash.
This guy's a rapist, dude. This guy holds his gun up to animals' heads and he said, "You better fucking stop. You better chill."
Mares are powerful, but I have the equalizer. You get on board, or no maregasm for you. You see how this goes?
You see how this works?
Insert clip of the train coming. Where's that train coming? Because I feel like it should be right now.
We need the train of inevitability.
Or at least in my life right now at this very moment, watching this.
I need to be laying on the tracks.
Yeah.
Just every afternoon, we'd walk down, go to the little convenience store and get some Tootsie Rolls or tropical snow.
Mares don't like Tootsie Rolls.
Coming up on my house, white one right up here, with the evergreen by the corner. Back there is where Cherry is buried.
If I could push a button and have everything change so I just had a normal life, emotionally, sexually, kept my family more or less together.
Pause.
Spend the weekends grilling hamburgers in the backyard.
Do you think the cat is just a pet or a pet? It's been going in my mind.
I think he's probably open to it.
Right.
You know, he needs to wait.
Here's the thing: like when you get exclusive, right? Because some people, like with the vegan chick, some people think animals are pets, and some think that they are food. Whatever we went to, right? So where do you draw? Is there a line, right, where you're like, no, this animal?
Well, hey,
think
about it like this, Paul. Well, think about it like this: if you were hungry enough and you had a cat, would you eat the cat?
Yeah.
So if you think about their predilections, if you were horny enough and there was nothing else,
but these people are obviously not in a situation where they don't have the means to find the mare, to get the mare gasm that they've been looking for, right?
But you never know, so it's good to have.
It's just like I guess we never will know because the fucker's dead, right? But
what if Pixel becomes frigid? You know,
right? She comes cold, bitch.
What if at one point the juice
you
is
remind
not
me of my human wife that I had? You know what? This is hey Pixel. This is getting too complicated. You know, I'm going with
6 apples now. 6 apples now. What the fuck?
6 apples. Whoa. Oh, what do you think? Shit grows on trees?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what am I, an apple tree, bitch? Fuck you. I got a cat. I don't need you, Pixel. I got this fucking pussy in here. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it, Pixel. You go out and you drink that water.
Yeah, but look at that freeze frame, man. It looks like a white Uncle Ruckus. The way Uncle Ruckus wanted to be.
Yeah.
The way Uncle Ruckus wished he looked like.
Lord, praise the white Jesus.
Praise white baby Jesus. Praise him. Praise be.
Gaming Dragon says Cherry's dead.
Sorry, dude. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we fucked that up.
Cherry was his first mare, and then he got Pixel, who he's now married to. Unofficial ceremony, granted, but he did commit himself to Pixel.
Right.
And drink a couple beers with my buddies while I watched a football game on Sunday afternoon. In other words, just be Joe Average. Would I do it? Would I choose? Could I? If I could make a choice between being a zoo and being, quote, normal, end quote. God, I don't know. I don't know.
Since this documentary was filmed, Mark has died from his illness. Oh, no. Now we ride these horses in his honor.
We ride.
Christopher Spencer. Well, there you have it, everybody. Gaming Dragon says, "What about a mini horse?" Oh, that's what Pixel is. That's who Pixel is. Yeah.
Yeah. We saw it.
Well, buddy,
dude, Paul, you should see if like Christopher Spencer's like on Twitter. If is it like he part of the movement? Is he keeping that like fancy word that starts with an A that we can't pronounce from Vegan Lady? Like, is he out there preaching the gospel of this still? 17 years later.
He's like, you cannot be anthropomorphic centric. You can't do it. You can't.
Very good, dude. Props on that, dude. I still can't say that.
Anthropomorphic. It's from an episode of Portlandia. That's where I first got it, because they used it in a joke where they're like, we're the anthropomorphic animals of the sea or something. It was like a band that the parents start, that they're like part of a parent teacher group.
Yeah. Well, hot damn, dude. Thank you.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Like, listen, I know you loved what we saw. Okay.
Total spank bank material. Which is probably like the first stage, right? Internalized yourself, but then eventually you teeter out. I just need to go out eventually out into the universe until an animal decides to choose me, just like we saw in all the other subjects in this documentary that we just watched.